Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live Wednesday night edition. Yes. As you can see, it's myself and my main man, the Transformer. Was good, Transformer?
Yeah. What's going on, Jake? What's going on?
I'm maintaining, man. Maintaining.
Yes,
got some good topics for you tonight. Definitely, as usual, on Wednesday, we're going to knock out the NFL pick'em. We're going to make our picks for the upcoming week of NFL football. We're going to talk some Micah Parsons, who can't seem to freaking keep his mouth shut, or whatever comes out of his mouth. He can't seem to get that right. I don't know what's going on with him. Of course, as you saw from the thumbnail, we are going to talk about Bronny James, who, well, he's just not good. But we're going to add some more. We're going to add some more layers to that. Definitely have some interesting comments from the mayor of Wade County himself. So definitely stick around and look forward to that. And then finally, we're going to finish up with Caleb Williams, #1 draft pick in this past NFL draft, and the Chicago Bears, and kind of talk about what's going on there, because it's crazy. Hey, what's going on, Sid Bubba? Appreciate you, brother. Happy late Veterans Day to you as well. Thank you so much. We're going to take just a couple minutes here, see if we get some more people in the chat. Then we are going to go ahead and get it started.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, man. So Boston is currently sitting #2 in the Eastern Conference. Conference, looking good, 9-3.
I think they got beat in the play-in thing by Atlanta the other night with no Trae Young.
Yeah, that was ugly. I mean, you're going to catch some of those. You got your guard down, playing down to competition a little bit. You can't shoot it. I mean, y'all like shooting 78 threes a game.
Yeah, man.
And, you're not going to hit them all every single time, right?
Yeah. I mean, far be it from me to complain about the philosophy, right? They won a chip last year. Again, a lot of luck there, but we'll see how far that philosophy carries them this season.
Yes, sir. Phoenix Suns #1 in the West. With Golden State. OKC. Surprisingly, Golden State is actually balling this year.
Yeah, they're playing well. I am surprised by that. I am. Yeah. Yes.
Lakers 6-4. I believe we got Memphis tonight. I believe it's going to be a healthy game. AD should be playing. LeBron should be playing. I know we played earlier this season, but there was no AD, so of course Memphis got whatever they wanted to on the inside.
Right. Edward Jackson was good, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate
it, bro. Did you witness the Klay Thompson return to Golden State?
I didn't see it, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did not see it.
It hit different, man.
These West Coast games, man. Those games are tough, man, because they're on so late.
Welcome to my life.
I know, right?
I believe he finished with around 20. I want to say he finished with around 20, but it was all about like that fourth quarter hit. The end of that fourth quarter, Steph Curry went off.
Yeah,
he scored the last 12, like dotting threes in folks' eyes like usual. 37. Like,
okay,
you couldn't stop him, man.
Right. So Klay had 22, not a bad night.
Yeah, there you go, 22
from 3. Yeah, showing he still got it. I mean, he knows those rims, right?
Oh no, he knows those rims like the back of his hand.
Facts. All right, man. You know what? Let's go ahead. I guess we can go ahead and get started here. No, it's not too early to say Giannis might get traded, Edward. It's definitely not. And Detroit Pistons good.
I mean, they're 5-7. I mean, what do you want to define as good?
Not terrible, not losing like 29 in a row.
Oh, okay. Well, then they're good.
Right.
It's good then.
Yes. Excuse me, not terrible.
That's like they 5-7. Ain't nothing to write off on.
Bruce, what up? He's on the way. He's on the way, man. Man, don't get that dude started, Bruce.
You know what? I think I may talk about the Ravens game last, just so he could just save it, brew it up for all the end, and
that's boom. A tough one too, man. That's the arch rival. Oh my goodness.
But you know what? I'm curious on what he's gonna say, because he was pro Russell Wilson. You know what I mean?
You know what he's gonna say. You know what he's gonna say.
I want to see if he could finally be a little objective.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Real talk. I don't.
I know what I'm going to say.
Looking here, I really don't know.
I know what I'm going to say, right? I just want to know if he's going to be objective.
Right?
Yeah, I just need to see some objectivity, right? Let's see if he comes in with a little objectivity.
Yeah, I really got no idea. Man. I can't even say. That's a tough one.
Hey, but Edward, man, who gonna win this Ravens game, bro?
Man, stop, man. Why you going through that, man?
Hey, G's not here. We're free. Right now, Bruce, we're free. Okay. When G get here, I ain't saying shit about the Ravens until it's time. Okay.
The Ravens Steelers are the ultimate pick 'em, man. That is the ultimate pick 'em.
Correct. And what time is your game, Adam? Right here. What time is your game? You guys have
it's
1 o'clock. That's gay. I mean, that's not cool.
Yeah.
My apologies, anybody out there.
You know why? Because they put the Kansas City Buffalo game at 4.
Yeah, but move the Cincinnati game then.
They put the 2 best games in the AFC at 1 and 4. So I think that's why they did that.
I mean, granted, that's a great game too. I mean, Kansas City, Buffalo, that's always a great game to watch. Seattle, San Fran, that's a divisional game, so that's going to be good.
Yeah, man, good stuff.
I'm not mad at it, but it's like that type of game. I don't want to be watching them while my Packers is playing.
Oh, that's right? Tough. I mean, but listen, at the risk of getting a little bit ahead, there's not going to be much to watch in that Packers game, bro.
I mean, you never know. This is divisional.
Nah, man, nah. But we'll get there. All right, you let's go ahead and get started, man. Let's rock.
All right, man. You got the quick hits? I think you have the quick hits, right?
We're gonna go straight to it.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna deal with the Week 11 NFL Pick'em. We wrapped up Week 10. Me and Bruce actually tied last week at 8-14. We thought we had some bad weeks. I mean, to me, those are bad weeks. I normally get double digits, but where we how we tied is that I didn't pick Baltimore. I picked Cincinnati. Well, it was close. And I think you picked Tampa Bay over San Fran. That's where we kind of neck and necked. And everything else we pretty much picked the same. We got cheated by the Giants. Chicago folded and stuff like that. So those were the major key games that made us end up with a tie. So hopefully we can get G in here soon, and I'm gonna let him pick up on the teams that he's gonna pick. But we're gonna rock with Week 11 Thursday night. Man, it's gonna be first of all, it's gonna be a bunch of great games this week. It's gonna be a bunch of great games, a lot of individual games. So they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be hard fought. But this game in particular is gonna be one of the games that's gonna be a must see. And Amazon Prime is gonna get all their money worth on this one. Washington is gonna travel to Philadelphia with our number 2 pick, who's balling out of control, in Philadelphia, who has a resurgence of balling out of control, and Jalen Hurts over there at 8-15, man. Who you got in this game?
Man, I got Philly in this game, man. I do. Washington is, again, a very good football team. I'm very impressed with the way they've been able to rapidly turn that culture around, turn that team around. New ownership, new coaching. Basically, everything's new, top to bottom, right? New franchise, QB, all that. Fantastic. All that said, man, the Eagles rounding into form. They got their weapons back. Saquon is doing his thing. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts is playing well. Now he's got his primary weapons back. The Commanders haven't shown me yet that they could be a good team. They are a very good team, no question. But in terms of when they have a good team opposite them, I'm not ready to pick them just yet. So I'm going to go with the Eagles here. And the Eagles are playing at home. So
Eagles are playing at home. Yep, correct. I'm going to go with Washington. I'm going to go against the grain a little bit here on the premise of Washington just battled one of the best defenses in the NFL, the Steelers, last week, right? And you were a point away.
That's true.
You felt like you were a possession away of beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has, if not number 1, number 2, number 3 defenses in the NFL with your rookie quarterback. I think you're going to Philly with that premise of like, okay, we took whatever the Steelers defense can give us. We can damn sure take whatever Philly's defense is going to give us, right? Even though it's individual, I think we're probably going to see one of I almost said Jaden Daniels' better games because I think at this point the Philly is still vulnerable in the secondary, and I think he can expose that in a sense. I'm not sure if Brian Robinson going to be back, but they're still pretty good on the run with Austin Eckler and the other guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my dome, in the backfield. So I think that they could. I think this is
my bad guy.
Uh-oh.
You good?
Is that you?
Yeah. I was just opening up the page. You good?
Okay. And last but not least, I forgot what I was going to say. That kind of threw me off.
My bad.
I mean, Philly's on a 5-game win streak. So right now, I feel like they can play what, like, all right, I mean, like, we're cooking right now. We're good. We're not really worried about nothing. Our division is going to end with us in Washington because, Dallas is not going to do nothing. The Giants are not going to do anything. So I think this they might be caught with their blouse down, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Washington in that sense, man.
All right, no doubt. Well, while we're getting to the next one, give a shout out to my main man Nino, Action Jack. What's going on, Nino? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you, and as always, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for the love, brother. Appreciate that. Good to see you back. Funny, he shows up with the Bronny topic, right? We haven't seen him for a little while. He sees that Laker on the thumbnail and he pops right back up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on,
man? While we got G here, man, what's going on, G?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Doing good. You good, dummy?
Yeah, shit, man. Keep catching me off guard with that one, bro, all the time.
Hey, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get it together, stupid. You know what I mean?
There it is.
All right, G, we just started the pick'ems, man. So we're on the very first game, Commanders and Eagles, man. What you think about that? You came in right at the right time.
Right
Commanders.
time. Ooh, like that.
Okay. He said that with
he said it like instant. Right? It was like no question.
He said it with chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Looks like I'm the only one who picked Philly on that. All right.
But I want to pick Philly because they're at home. But like I said, I think the premise off Washington and their loss against the Steelers, Philly is going off a 5-game win streak. It just feels like this is a game of Washington. Like we needed more than Philly, right? So that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, man. They haven't beaten the good teams on their schedule yet, but we'll see. Yeah,
I like that. All right, we're going to move on over to Sunday, 1:00, first game, one of the biggest rivals, if not the best rival in NFL history. Psych, because we've been smashing them. Green Bay travels to Chicago to play Caleb Williams. Who do you got, G?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. He said that without hesitation, too. I'm loving it. Bruce, who you got?
I got Green Bay, man. That's easy, man. Chicago is falling apart. They out here firing coaches. Eberflus, a dead man walking, and he's still firing assistants trying to save his job. Caleb is flopping. You got veterans on the team going to the coaching staff asking for him to be benched, and we'll get to that later in the Caleb Williams topic. Man, the Bears are they're an S show right now. So definitely, I mean, even if they weren't, Green Bay is the better team. So I think Green Bay is going to go in there and take it to them. And the other thing, real quick, and then I'll let you go, is that Caleb, obviously, Chicago's on a 4-game losing streak. Caleb is not playing well. Green Bay's pass defense, as we know, is super opportunistic. I think they'll probably take 1 or 2 off of him. So, yeah, they're Chicago not winning that game.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to shock y'all with this one. I'm going to go with Chicago to lose by 10 points. All right.
I was like, what?
That's funny.
Okay. I like that.
Hey, man, I'm going to go with Chicago to lose by 10 points. All right. We're going to get some butt today. All right.
Yeah,
man, we like them. We like them women that like to paint their fingernails. All right. And, prance all over the field like they hot stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think, we definitely going to touch him up a little bit. He got sacked 9 times last week.
9 times.
I'm definitely expecting to see him sacked 6 times, 2 picks.
I can see it.
Xavier McKinney definitely finna get another pick on the year. This will be number 7.
Yeah, man.
No, number 8. I think this will be number 8. 8 picks on the season, man. And I think Jair Alexander's gonna be back. So we're gonna be healthy when it comes to our secondary. They order to keep him honest. I think our only concern is gonna be the running game. Like, you know what I mean? Like we've been kind of stagnant on running games as of late. Hence Joe Mixon and the Houston Texans in that game. Detroit in their run game, the way they carved up through it. So I think that might be our only concern. But other than that, I just don't think Chicago has enough firepower to keep up with our Green Bay offense. So I'm going to definitely go with our Green Bay by 10.
Okay.
All right. Next one should be fairly easy. Bruce, Jacksonville is going to travel to Detroit. Mac Jones is going to be up north for the first time in a while. Detroit
is a finely oiled machine right now. They are playing football.
Whoa. You think so?
That was kind of crazy.
No, absolutely. No, they balling. Yes.
No, I agree, but it sounded kind of strange.
I just felt like
Detroit's
Jared Goff threw too many picks last week.
So what I gotta say about that is, and you're right, G.
It was like
Only thing I gotta
them,
say
right?
about that, cinco. But what I gotta say is, he threw 5 picks and they still won. So that tells you, like, they could win any way it is. They could win with their defense because they completely shut down the Texans in the second half of that game when the Texans were moving in the first half. Completely shut them down. They could win with their defense. They could win running it. They can win throwing it. I mean, Jared Goff, he did play terribly, so you're 100% right about that. But nah, Detroit they the real deal, man. They are clearly the class of the NFC. So yeah, I got Detroit, Ramrod in Jacksonville.
I think
they favored by 9.5 too. I think.
Yeah, I got Detroit as well.
Oh, they favored by 13.5. No respect for the Jaguars, man.
None. I think they're gonna get bodied.
Yo, 2 touchdowns. This ain't college, bro.
Nah, but I think they're gonna get bodied though.
Vegas, like, boy, them boys about to get cooked up there in the damn cold, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not even cold. They playing in the dome.
Oh yeah, true. Detroit does have a dome for a field. That's right. That's gonna be ugly. But yeah, I agree. I don't think we need to stress anymore about what's going on in Jacksonville. They're about to be another one of the coaches that's going to be fired this offseason, if not before. It's just a lot going bad for the Jaguars. Detroit, like you said, is a finely oiled machine. They're finding ways to win like the champs are, right? I think we had this conversation last time, Bruce. Detroit is just finding different ways to win, whether it's the defense, whether it's off our run game, whether it's off the pass game, whether it's off special teams. They're finding ways to get it done. And I think that last game was just that confirmation. I can throw 5 picks and we still win this football game, right?
That's right.
We can still be in it. All right. So moving on over, we're going to go with Minnesota. It's going to be traveling to Tennessee. Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin yet, G? Who you got?
Yeah. Minnesota,
easy day. Bruce?
I'm going Tennessee here, man. I'm going Tennessee. Sam Darnold is turning back into his old self. Would he have 2 red zone picks the last game? And Tennessee has one of the best defenses in the league. I still don't believe in Sam Darnold, even though Minnesota overall is a good team. It's at Tennessee, man, and defense, you can always be in a game and have an opportunity to win if you can defend the ball. And I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go Tennessee here. Plus, you can't go chalk every game, man. It's not gonna work, especially not in the NFL.
No, you're right.
Upset.
That's the game you picked for the upset. I like that.
I might be.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go with Minnesota.
No doubt.
Will Levis hasn't really shown me anything yet to be
true.
That Brian Flores' defense is gonna give up anything major to him. Minnesota has a better run game. Yes, Tennessee has a great defense, but I think Minnesota's defense is good enough to keep Will Levis at bay. But Minnesota has enough weapons. Justin Jefferson, Addison back there.
That's true.
That Tennessee can get caught more than Minnesota could with Will Levis at the helm. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota on that one.
I'm not mad at that either.
Hey,
I'm not confident, but
you picking an upset. You're never confident,
right? Week 11, the picture gets clear, right? Like week 5, I can understand that pick, but week 11, like their identities is not gonna change, bro. Like
that's true as well.
They looking for a new quarterback and a head coach.
He's calling it a sleeper. Edward, he did yawn before we got online, so he may be sleep with that pick. But sleeper nonetheless, man. I like it. All right, moving on over to the next game. We have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Miami at 1:00. I believe, Bruce, you went first last time. G, who do you have in this game right here? Miami, without questions, man. I like when G just gets it out the way. Like Miami, no question. All right, G, Bruce, who you got?
I got Miami as well, man. They look a lot better with Tua, and Raiders just a bad football team, man.
Yeah. All right, Gardner Minshew is going to have his first start in, I think, since week 3 or week 4. And he's going to have another L. So, yeah, Miami.
Yeah. Yes.
Not even going to stress that even further, right? moving on. Los Angeles Rams, after a ugly loss against Miami, is going to be traveling to New England with the, I would say, impressive Drake May, but unimpressive offensive weapons in New England. Bruce, who you got?
I have Los Angeles here. New England is always going to defend, but I think Los Angeles is just a better team, but a lot of young pieces, and I'm going to just go with Los Angeles. I think New England just doesn't have much of anything, and I don't think you're going to get away with sacking Matt Stafford 9 times, right, to win that game. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Los Angeles here.
Liking it? G?
Same.
All right. Moving on over. Oh, I got the Rams too. My bad. I almost skipped myself. Yeah, I got the Rams. I mean, it's weapons, man. I'm going off talent. Rams have so much talent. You got Kyron and Siren, go Irish back there in your backfield. You got Cooper Kupp. You got Puka Nacua. You got Matt Stafford. You couldn't get it done in Miami. Now you're like, okay, all right, this is the week. We getting it together this week. So I think this is going to be one of those games. This next one, Cleveland Browns are going to be traveling to New Orleans to battle. I almost said Drake May again. Derek Carr at 1:00. Who do you have, G?
The Saints.
It's ugly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the Saints.
Yeah, he wasn't confident about that one.
Wait, so I'm gonna go with the Browns. Jameson Winston against his old team.
Yeah,
he'll probably air it out.
Okay.
But then, man, I don't know, bro. Like, this is a hard one right here.
Okay, I'm unclick Cleveland. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Cleveland. Even though they got rid of, like, they starting to get rid of everyone, I'm still stay with Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce.
14-13, Cleveland.
Ugly low score game. Got you.
Yeah, man.
Bruce?
I'm going to go Cleveland as well here. Not confidently as well, but I'm going to go Cleveland.
Yeah, I picked Cleveland. And I don't know why I picked Cleveland.
Right. It's just one of those.
I'm looking at my picks before I got on the show, and I'm like, okay, Brian, what made you pick Cleveland? You did this before. They effed you over last time.
Right.
But you feel like this time they're not going to F you over, right? Because you're playing against the Saints. Saints are just not good, right? But you got Derek Carr, you got Alvin Kamara. But their defense, they gave up pieces on the defense that I think Jameis Winston can expose. And I think Cleveland's defense is good enough to keep Derek Carr at bay. Nick Chubb is having a resurgence. He's coming back he's running back into shape. So I think they're going to be able to get the run game going. So I'm just like y'all. I'm just going to unconfidently go with Cleveland, right? All right. So let's go with I'm going to skip over this one. I'm going to skip over that one. I'm pretty sure y'all know what game that is. We're going to go to Indianapolis, traveling to the Jets. G, you went last time. Bruce, who you got in this one?
I got the Jets here, man. I got the Jets. Anthony Richardson is going to be starting again.
Yep.
Don't
That's
know why.
That's all you need to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with the Jets here. Even though they're not playing their best ball, Aaron Rodgers not playing his best ball. The defense is like 23rd in points allowed and 24th against the run, somewhere right in there. So all of the things that were supposed to put Aaron Rodgers into a position to just step in and, make the throws are not there. But yet, unfortunately, man, I just don't see the Colts having much. And then again, I got nothing for Anthony Richardson. I don't believe in that dude, not in the least. So, yeah, I'm going to go to Jets here. Christopher's wild.
G, who you got, brother?
The Jets.
Easy day.
Yeah.
All of my heart and soul wants to say Indianapolis. But as soon as I saw that Anthony Richardson was starting, I said, nah, Jets. All right. You guys know how I feel about Anthony Richardson. I just don't feel like he's a ready enough quarterback.
Nope.
I feel like he just definitely needs more time to ride the pine a little bit and observe, learn, and grow on the bench. And the Jets just, it's just if I could find another word for disappointing, I would say it, but I can't think of nothing. But they're just overly disappointing with the obtaining of Devontae Adams, you haven't really done much with it. You've only had one game where y'all showed out.
That's right.
And that was the second half of against the previous game. Last game, you guys couldn't get it together. It was last game was about as awful as you can get. So I think, I need to slow down, Bruce. Okay. Last game was as bad as it gets. The Jets are awful and slow on offense. Defense got exposed. However, Anthony Richardson, Bruce II,
short but shorty,
is exposable. All right. He's going to get smoked out there. You got me, Bruce II. So I got the Jets. He might tap. He might tap. All right. Moving on to the next game. It's going to be a doozy. Atlanta is going to be traveling to Denver. Who do you have, G?
Atlanta going to Denver. Shit. Oh, Atlanta. I like Atlanta. Yeah, okay. I like Atlanta.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. G, I'm not G. Bruce, I'm gonna pick Denver for you. All right.
How do you know I was going to pick Denver? How do you know that?
Because you screwed it over last week.
How do you know that? I am picking Denver.
Who you picked last week?
I picked Atlanta to win the damn game last week against the Saints. Thank you, Trent.
He messed up the entire feng shui that we had going on.
Man, listen.
And I'm like, come on, bro.
Exactly, Chris. Denver's defense is crazy. Absolutely.
It is crazy.
You know what, Transformer?
What's up?
Audric Estime got the starting running back job for the rest of the year in Denver. Go Irish.
Go Irish, man. Good job.
There you go.
That's another reason for me to pick Atlanta. All right, because I don't need Irish getting any more love than what they're getting now, bro. I don't need them getting no more love, right? I need Atlanta to win this game desperately. All right. I've been riding for Atlanta, man.
Listen, they've been doing well so far all season, man. You proved me wrong because I thought it was going to be Tampa Bay, and you said it from the beginning. So
true, I mean, yeah. But I just can't have you when you pick them. It just feels like it's just
off,
it's bad, right? It's off. It's like, dang, Atlanta, like,
I finally
Bruce with us.
Okay, you know, and look what happened.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Like I said, I'm gonna go with Atlanta, man. Why? Denver's defense is great. Defense is great. Atlanta, I feel like they need to step it up a little bit. I want them to step it up. I need them to step it up. They better step it up because I'm picking them this week, and Bruce is
Michael Penix Jr.
Wait, why you say that? Her cousin ain't hurt.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. You're just saying if he doesn't. Okay, got you. But yeah, I'm gonna just pick Atlanta because I've been bullish on Atlanta all year. A part of me wants to pick Denver because of the defense. But I'm gonna just roll with Atlanta on this one, man. I'm gonna just roll with Atlanta.
Bo Nix missed a lot of throws that last game, and that probably was pivotal to them at least. I think being more competitive. Like, he kind of it was.
I said, hold up, don't skip over anything. That sucks for this form of terrible journalism. Good thing about it, bro, I'm not a journalist. So you know where you could take that one, bro. I'm not a journalist. All right. But there's a reason why I skipped over it, and you will find out in just about 3 minutes because it's going to take another 30 minutes for us to finish that one. All right. So another big divisional game. Like I said, all these teams right now are see, they get it. They get it, Bruce II. They get it. All right. Seattle's gonna be traveling to San Fran, another great divisional game. G, I believe you went last time first. Bruce, who you got, brother?
I got San Francisco, man. They squeaked out the win at Tampa Bay. Like, it wasn't impressive, but I kind of always look at it like if a team can win those type of difficult games, it says something about them. Seattle's a good team and his division rivalry, man. But C-Mac is back now, so not sure, what type of shape he's in, but obviously he's back. And Kittle and Debo and Purdy's still playing well, man. I'm gonna just go with San Francisco here.
Okay. I like it. G.
San Francisco and who? I'm sorry.
San Francisco. Seattle's traveling to San Fran.
Tough, right?
Seattle.
Ooh, I like that. Like that pick.
Seattle.
Like that pick.
Tough.
Like it. San Fran, I believe, won the previous game in Seattle. Last time I checked, if I can't remember correctly. I think they'll win it again at home. I think with them having Christian McCaffrey back in the saddle, that offense is going to start looking a little bit more crisp. And you know what you have in Jordan Mason. So you know you have multiple weapons in the backfield. You got a healthier Debo Samuel. You got Jawan Jennings. You got George Kittle. I just think they have enough to run away with this one from Seattle. Granted, it's a divisional game.
Yeah.
But I think San Fran definitely has the tools necessary to beat them. Right.
I agree.
At home at 4:00 in that heat. Because it's you know what I'm saying, it's in San Fran. All right. Next one, Kansas City is going to be traveling to Buffalo, in which Buffalo is favored by 2 points. Gee, you went first. No.
Buffalo.
You went first last time. Okay.
Buffalo.
All right. Easy day. They don't get no. Is there a reason why you would pick Buffalo there, buddy?
You know what, man? I hate to see these guys win outright. When
I know that's what it is.
Get the goddamn second, then they get to the first round or the second round and get their ass whipped.
Yeah,
because, the season games are different than according to everyone. Not likely, but I just think they they're gonna take a L. Yeah,
you think this is the L that they
reason towards? Yeah, I just think it's their time. I think that the quarterback is on the same level as Mahomes when it comes to being able to make those plays in the clutch, make those passes in the clutch. And even though that defense is really, really good at taking your dominant hand and kind of pinning it to your side and making you win with your offhand or whatever your weaknesses or your not so strong strengths, right? Their defenses are really, really good. I just think it's their time, though. They didn't squeaked away and got as many lucky wins as they can get. I think it's that time. They just, it's just ugly win after ugly win after ugly win. It can only take you so far.
Okay,
that's it.
All right, G, you got it, Bruce.
I got Buffalo here. I do believe Kansas City's still the best team in football, and they can beat you with offense. They can beat you with defense. We saw them last game beat you with special teams. Like, when you see a team that can beat you any possible way you can conceive of, that tells you how good they are. However, to G's point, eventually those type of games catch up with you, and when you play another team that's very good, they can beat you. And not in the playoffs yet, but in the regular season, we have seen what's my man's name? Josh Allen beat Pat Mahomes, and we've seen him even in the playoffs, obviously, go toe-to-toe and throw for throw with him. And so if there's anybody, not counting Lamar, but if there's anybody that can go toe-to-toe and throw for throw with Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be Josh Allen. And so I'm going to go here with I'm gonna go with the Bills, because also, man, it's so hard to just keep winning in the NFL, man. It's so hard. So at some point they got to lose. I don't think they're gonna get destroyed, but at some point the streak gets snapped, and then they kind of get back into the flow of doing what they got to do to win. So I'm gonna go with the Bills here, man.
Okay,
it's not like the Bills are a bad team. That's a very good football team.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay with the champs. Why? One, my nose not playing.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. One, my nose not playing. Keon Coleman is not going to play. Amari Cooper is still likely to not play.
Yep.
So Josh Allen has 0 weapons he's throwing the ball to, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to try to run the football. Yeah, that's okay, right? But if we can make, if any team can make you one-dimensional, it's Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They can make you run the ball all day if they want to, right?
Yeah.
And that's not going to be good for your defense as Kansas City goes on there, scores real quick. Now you're back out there trying to chime away and grind out to get a field goal kick. I don't think Buffalo has enough to win this football game. They're 1-3 against winning teams. 1-2 against winning teams, right? So I mean, when it matters the most, right? You got cooked by the Ravens, like deep fried. I think the score was 41-10, right?
It was bad. Yeah.
So it was bad. It was a bad football game for you. When you had to play the Texans, you lost against the Texans. Texans are a great team at the time. They had Stephon Diggs and those guys were clicking on all cylinders at that point when they were, I think, 5-1 at the time or something like that. So those teams you failed against, but you beat the Jets, you can beat the Titans, you can beat the Dolphins, you can beat the Colts, you can beat the Jags, right? You can beat those teams, right? When it matters the most, when you need to beat the real team, where are you? So I don't think this is a game that they're going to show us where they are because they're down 2 of their offensive weapons on the receiving core. So I definitely got Kansas City winning this game. I'm surprised. I'm still trying to figure out how they're favored by 2, but that's not me. I'm not Vegas.
I think doesn't the home game usually, isn't that normally 3 points being at home?
Yeah, but when you down both weapons on your offensive side.
No, I'm just saying normally being at home give you 3. So
I got you. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Kansas City on this one.
Okay.
All right, so
has shown he can go up there and win. He did in the playoffs last year. Real quick, let me comment on this in the chat. What's up, gentlemen? Since the national media wanted to question a Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame status, and Russell in one bad season, they should be doing that for Aaron. To be fair, also Trevor is Wentz 2.0 a bust. All right, let me push back on that a little bit. The reason that people questioned Russell Wilson is not because of one bad season. The reason people question Russell Wilson is because obviously he won the Super Bowl early in his career. He went back to the Super Bowl and literally threw it away. All right, cool. So he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. Right. A lot of guys haven't done that. Guys who are arguably greater than him at the position haven't done that. Cool. But the problem is when you look at it, Russell Wilson took great advantage of one of the all-time best defenses in history. And then you combine that along with a great running game with beast mode, right? So once those guys were all gone, he still got to the playoffs, but those Super Bowl runs and all that weren't there. So I think what people want to see is, okay, can you do it again, and can you do it somewhere else, right? Tom Brady kind of spoiled people on that, but he goes to Denver. And then also you're hearing all this stuff from, former teammates and all that about Russell Wilson is kind of wild and he's not very guy. Nobody's saying he can't play, but that definitive Hall of Fame and all that, I think he's a 9-time Pro Bowler, so that's big also, but he's never been all pro. He's never gotten even one MVP vote in his entire career. These things stand out. So I think that's why people were questioning Russell Wilson after last year. To say they should be doing that to Aaron, to be
blasphemy.
Fair, yes, Aaron Rodgers, he's got all the numbers, and I'm no Aaron Rodgers fan, but he's got all the numbers, and the guy's a 4-time MVP, multiple-time first-team All-Pro quarterback, obviously multiple-time Pro Bowler. He's got more than Russell Wilson has. So that's a terrible comparison. Trevor is Wentz 2.0 a bust. Yeah, I'm good with that. Hope that answers your comment, Eagles Brother 92. Thanks for being here. Real quick, if anybody's here and you haven't already, please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate you. All right, gentlemen. Let's carry on.
All right, we got that out the way because I'm not having Aaron Rodgers in the Hall of Fame is just I think you're talking about a different Aaron. I'm like, man,
yes, Willie.
Quarterback named Aaron out there.
Russell Wilson is definitely a possible Hall of Famer. Willie Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely going to be possibly in there.
I think it's just not definitive. But he's got a very good chance.
First ballot, maybe not. He probably won't. But that second, third go round, he may get in there. He has a Super Bowl, and like Bruce said, he went to a second one. He literally threw the second one away and gave it the time. But but he's been there, right? And typically, Super Bowl quarterbacks with good enough numbers like Russell Wilson, they typically get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Bruce, we'll do that. The fight is Saturday night, right?
Yep.
What time does anybody? What time is that fight?
We got to look on Netflix. It's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, if it's one of those late night
Bruce
fights,
2.0. Let us know what time it is.
Yeah, we could probably. Right? Yeah, He was the one who brought it up. Bruce, we got to discuss this Tyson fight at some point this week. So we probably can discuss it on the show on Saturday. But we'll make sure we do that, Bruce. Thank you for the reminder, man.
No, absolutely. All right. So two more games. I'm sorry. Cincinnati is going to be traveling to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. G, who do you have in this one?
Wow. The only thing that's difficult about this pick is I have to root for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Right, because like nobody seems to be able to stop Jamar Chase and Burrow. That connection is crazy. That's sick. And so I gotta go with Cincinnati on this one just because all biases aside. Cincinnati.
I'm proud of you, brother. You go ahead.
It's a work in progress, bro. It's a work in progress.
Oh man!
All right, Bruce, who you got, bro?
So this is a tough one for me, man. This is a styles make fights type of thing, right? Obviously, you got the high flying, high octane, bombs away offense of Joe Burrow and Cincinnati, and then you got the grinded out physical run first mentality of Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman and play physical defense. So I am going to go with the Chargers here, and that's simply because of what I believe to be the most successful way of playing football, and that's run the football and stop the run. And the difference is you got a guy in Herbert who's not putting up big numbers, but he can at any given time. He's capable of it, even though he's not doing it because of the style of offense that they're playing. This guy's thrown one pick all year. I mean, not that Burrow is lighting it up with picks. He only has 4, right? Burrow is really going crazy. It's just a shame that the team is bad. The defense can't hold it down for him, but he's having a crazy year this year. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers here, man. I believe in Jim Harbaugh, man. That guy just knows how to coach football, and he does it the old way, and it works.
Sometimes.
I mean, he's had success everywhere he's been. So I'll just
Super Bowl, national champions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got it. You got a point. With that point, I'm gonna take Cincinnati. Why? Because they're extremely freaking desperate.
Desperation is big.
Hey, you're extremely freaking desperate. You just came off of what could have been a win against the Ravens, your divisional rival. Not only just divisional rival, quarterback rival, in which a game where you felt like you could have had, like I said, there was a 2-point conversion away from winning the football game. Granted, there were a couple of calls that were missed, but you still have to make the play after the call. There's no guarantee that you're going to make the play anyway. Baltimore could have stood up on defense anyway, but you were not afforded that opportunity, the second opportunity to go for 2. But that being said,
in the first place.
Yeah, I know Ravens defense is trash, but to that point, you're 4-6. You cannot afford to go 4-7. You cannot afford it.
But you might not have a choice.
10 teams in the league that's like under 4 wins. Like
10. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You close. It's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's worse than I thought.
It's 11. Yeah, it's 11. 11 teams under 4 wins.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams with 4 wins. So, anyway, you can't afford to go 4-7. And I say that because the Denver Broncos, yes, they're 5-5, but if they can get a dub here, they go 6-5. You go 4-7. That doesn't push anything in your favor to try to go and get that 7th seed.
I don't think they're going to get it, man.
Huh?
I don't think they're going to get it at all.
I mean, I think this is going to be the determining game, right? Like this could be where you win this football game. Now you can build a little bit more steam because you guys got 7 games to go, right? If you could win another 5 out of your next 7 or 6 of the next 7, you can slide right into that 7th spot. So I think this is going to be one of those football games where you're like, look, we need to win, and we need to win last week. And I feel like they can make the Chargers, fold into that pressure and beating them. So I'm gonna go with Cincinnati on that one.
Yeah.
All right. I went ahead and I checked the last one for us. We don't even need to talk about the Monday night game. Honestly, this game needs to be flexed.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, for the chat, so everybody knows, we're not going to talk about Monday night. It's Houston versus Dallas. I know all 3 of us are going to pick Houston. There's no rule or rhyme to reason on why. We just know that Houston's just going to win this football game. Dallas is really, really bad. We don't need to explain. Let's get to the main topic of week 11. I know my head is still spinning. I know G has his answer. I know Bruce is like, God dang it, this is a pick 'em.
Yeah.
But there's one team that's going to play at 1:00. One team decides to wear purple and black to their football games because that's their colors. The other team decides to wear black and yellow because that's their colors. But both got black. Black of the black, black of the berry, the sweet of the juice. This juggernaut of a team and the Baltimore Ravens on offense, because we know they're porous defensively, is going to go play one of the better defenses in the league with I would say decent enough offense, good enough offense to get it done. But this is a divisional rival game, a clash of the Titans, and I would say to get to the AFC Championship or yet Super Bowl, Baltimore Ravens are going to be traveling to Pittsburgh to battle Sierra's husband. We ain't going to call him that no more. All right, he's been playing good. All right, I've been liking Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's been playing good. So Russell Wilson and Pittsburgh Steelers at 1:00. Chat, light it up. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and let these boys duke it out. I don't have no dog in this fight. G, I just wanted to let you know I love you. And I already checked Baltimore for you. So I don't even... Listen.
Oh, do I go first or do Bruce go first?
Go first, because
I checked it for you, bro. Baltimore is checked. All right. Matter of fact, I double clicked it just to make sure I knew it was checked. All right. So Bruce sat on the sideline for a minute. G, please, without further ado, let us know how the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this football game.
Please, tell me.
It's kind of tough, man. Like anybody who has been watching the Ravens Steelers games for the last decade or two, that shit, the paperwork don't always align up to W's and L's, man. Like this is a slug. This is one of those games where you just hope and pray that like you don't lose your best player in this dog fight right here. I was watching something that said that like this game should not be televised. They should play this game in an alley. You know what I mean? On the side of the road.
True.
This is like concrete. One of those like this is one of those games where it's like Battle of the Titans type game. And Ravens had 10 days to prepare for the Steelers.
That's a great
defense. That secondary, our coverage is crazy, man. Like I don't know. After Jamar Chase came and defried a freaking safety corner. And you know what I mean? It's like
that joint.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, man! Like
baby oil was everywhere.
Like, with a Mike Tomlin and after he probably, I'm sure he watched the tape and he was like, "Damn, this is just simple go routes that he cooking them." And like then he put the dude Pickens in the same slot, he probably gonna run the same fucking plays because clearly they don't know how to they don't know how to defend over the top, underneath. Stop routes, down and outs, like they just that secondary is real horrible, man. But I think on offense is a pretty balanced team with the exception of you never know what Mr. Lamar is going to be able to do and how he'll dice up the defense. So he can possibly make the Steelers defense, as good as they are, look just like the Ravens defense.
That's right.
As bad as they are. So it's like, it's going to be one of those games. This is the our midseason Super Bowl, I should say. Right? Every Sunday, man, like you either wake up on Mondays and you crying like, damn, the loss to the fucking Steelers. My group chat going crazy. Or you like you happy, your chest out, chin up, chest out. You like talking shit. You slinging memes to all your Steelers fans. I think this is going to be a good one, man. I think this is going to be a real good one. If not, then I'm gonna call out on Monday. But yeah, absolutely got the Ravens by 10.
Whoa.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that on here because I need it. They have to win by 10 in order for your pick to be right. If not, it's just gonna be blank.
So win is a win, shorty. As long as the chin up, chest out come Monday, you know what I'm saying? I can't call out. I gotta go to work. So it's like, you know what I mean? I ain't got no choice, bro. I'll just be walking around looking like somebody pissed in my Cheerios or kicked my dog or something, man. I don't know.
Oh man.
Okay. Bruce. Who you got, brother?
Okay, Transformer. I'm gonna cut to the chase, and I'm gonna say the Ravens.
Not
close.
Jamar Chase.
No, not Jamar Chase. We don't need to see him again for a while.
You need to clarify for the chat. I know they're watching.
No. I'm gonna say Baltimore close here. To G's point, man, the way Russell Wilson has been throwing the deep ball and our inability to guard against it is going to cause problems. Man, but we should be able to completely shut down whatever they try to do on the ground. Still have the best run defense in the league, so we can make them one dimensional. But the problem is that dimension that they have is we're the worst at defending that. I think we're 32nd in pass defense. So to G's point, they can get over the top, but they don't have thunder and lightning like we have. And so here's the thing: when you look at the Baltimore offense, even if you can, I'm not going to say shut down, but if you can control Derrick Henry in the run game, if you can control the running game, Lamar has now shown that he's on another level throwing the football. And like G said, I think the word he used was dice. He can slice and dice you from the pocket. So that is legitimate. We know Tomlin, he's going to come with a scheme defensively, but I think like Lamar, he's on that upper level, man. He's on that top tier with the way he's playing the quarterback position now. He's like mastered studying film. I think it was 2 weeks ago, G, when he wasn't practicing much, or a week before Cincinnati, he wasn't practicing much with the slight injury, and he's like, all he was doing was in there was like just dissecting the film. So he's doing plenty of that. Obviously, we know that he can throw it. He has the wheels. He can get out. Zay Flowers is a real X factor guy. You got Mark Andrews has come back to himself. You got, what's my man's name that came from Carolina? The new wide receiver used to play for Pittsburgh.
Deion Johnson.
Yep.
Deion Johnson. Deontay
right.
Johnson. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So now you've got another weapon on the outside. Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Got to have somebody back there to chip TJ Watt on every passing down, because, and you have to know where he is, right? Because he's going to line up all over the place. Trying to bring the pressure. Yeah, this, man, like we always say, this is a chin strap game. This is this is the kind of game that the NFL almost doesn't want because it's so physical, and they try to take the physicality out of the game now. But I am going to go with the Ravens winning close. I don't think that they smash them. They are going to win close, but they're going to pull out a tough win in Pittsburgh. I just think they're on a mission, and the way Lamar Jackson is playing, man, it's like lights out. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here. It wasn't easy, but I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I've never seen our secondary like be this bad this late in the season.
Yeah.
Normally they kind of like would have got that shit together, but I don't know.
Well, the only thing we heard
talent.
Belichick say again.
It's talent.
Well, so how I look at that, G, though, is that they have pretty much the same defensive personnel they had last year when the defense was historically great. So it's about the right calls at the right time and just executing, right? Like we heard Belichick say on the clip last week or whatever week that was, Dean Pease is a pass defense specialist, and they've got him in there, being an advisor to Zach Orr. So hopefully that helps out, and he has helped him to come up with something that can control that back end. So yeah, but at the end, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go Ravens here, but close. So yeah.
So you got Baltimore.
Yes, I do.
Right. All right. The answer I'm about to give is not going to be the answer none of you guys in the chat won't. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I got Baltimore beating Pittsburgh in week 15.
Okay.
This is probably not going to be the week. Right now, Vegas has the Ravens favored by 3. Pittsburgh is at home. Pittsburgh is 7-1 against the Ravens in the last 8 football games. Since 2020, the Ravens have only beaten Mike Tomlin once.
Really?
Yep, looked it up. Right? Since 2020.
Wow.
The Ravens have only won one time against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's crazy.
Mike Tomlin. This is probably going to be one of those defining. I'm not going to say defining because Mike Tomlin's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
And he's a champion already.
So. And he's a champion already. But this is going to be one of those games where John Harbaugh is going to get out-coached. I think this is going to be that situation to where they're going to take the strength away from the Ravens.
Okay.
And just exploit everything the Ravens have as a weakness on the defensive side of the football with the resurgence of what Russell Wilson's doing for that pass game. How George Pickens can go fly. Mike Williams can also go and fly. He can run goes, and that's what you guys are lacking at this current moment. I think the Ravens going to do a great job against the run game. Steelers haven't been awesome at running the football, but I think they're just going to run the football enough to just keep you guys at bay. You got to do something about TJ Watt. TJ Watt is going to be the hugest X factor on that defensive line when it comes to containing and yet getting after Lamar Jackson. And I think with Mike Tomlin, he can scheme up the secondary good enough to just follow wherever Lamar's going. Don't chase him. Just follow the receivers, whichever way they're going, and play your scheme that way. I think Mike Tomlin can get that done. So, in that said, I'm gonna go with the Steelers with it.
Okay.
I think the Ravens will beat the Steelers, just not this week in week 15 when they have that Baltimore crowd behind them. I don't see him at this current moment as we spoke about last time. You guys got coaching issues. You guys said it. G said it. You got coaching issues, right? Coach don't know what they want to do on defense. You don't trust John on offense. Him calling the plays, making the decisions. G just came out of your mouth, right? You don't trust your coaching, but Pittsburgh has always trust Mike Tomlin, right? I think that goes good for what you have.
Worried about Todd Monken. Definitely worried about Todd Monken.
Definitely worried about Todd Monken, right? You're definitely worried about Todd Monken, and just take away from my other point, man. You start laughing at me off. But like I was saying, Mike Tomlin.
Man, I'm not letting you bait me into that bullshit, man. I'm telling you, I'm not, bro. It's not happening tonight. Yeah, it's not happening tonight, bro. It's not happening.
I'm not doing nothing, bro. I'm just saying. You said it, not me, right?
We got away from the Commanders, bro.
Hey, but you like that Commanders team?
That's a good football team.
You like that Commanders team, right?
Yeah, I hope he don't have his sophomore slump. But I think the NFC East is still up for grabs, man. Like, just with so many teams. I mean, with the exception of Philly been really rocking out. We knew they was going to do that. Yeah. They always get hot late in the season. But the rest of that divisions.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I like your pick. I like your pick, bro, because come Sunday morning, It's going to, Sunday, 11:30, Sunday evening. It's going
Right.
to it's going to be a lot of excitement. Everybody going to be there. I'm going to be trash. So you might have to
be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing.
The Super Bowl, bro.
I'm going to be trash.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't let them win, yo.
In, man.
My God.
I mean, I'm gonna have it on my secondary TV because obviously Green Bay is gonna be playing. I'm gonna ride with the home team every time. I'm definitely gonna be heavily tuned in to that game right there, man. I think it's gonna come down to the wire. It's definitely gonna be whoever has the ball last wins the football game.
No, man, I really
that's
hope
gonna be the drive that finds it.
The refs don't take away from that tradition of just smash mouth football, man.
Yeah,
I know they have to, right, to some extent. But they can really fuck a game up, bro. This a man
but
sport.
Also, the
man.
Ravens have been. Now I don't mean to cut you off, G. They've gotten hella penalties. They're very undisciplined this year.
They're
very undisciplined.
I believe they're the most penalized team in the league. They're super undisciplined.
Yeah, I'm talking about, man. The refs been throwing a lot more flags this year across the entire board than ever.
I'm saying you guys are top 3
numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
They breaking records with as many the flags that they throwing this year. So it's I don't know,
man. So
the pass the offensive holding, we knew we were gonna see that. But some of this stuff is wow, okay, this is crazy. But
I think Bruce is trying to do the same thing.
I digress.
Right.
Y'all googling it. Y'all googling flag.
Baltimore's number 1. With 80.
We always been number 1, bro.
Jets at 75, Seattle at 74. Yeah, Baltimore got the most with 80.
Right? To be number 1 and still have a winning record is crazy.
Absolutely.
So many teams who doing so bad, you would think that would be, that would be something that would be holding the team back from winning. But some of these teams they just suck, and it don't have nothing to do with the flags. It's just inability to produce points and close out games. So
yeah, I mean, I think it just shows you the Superman level that Lamar is playing at, honestly. So I mean,
to Transformers' point, Tomlin is a much better coach than John Harbaugh, absolutely, without question.
He is. I don't think we give John Harbaugh enough credit, but Tomlin is better than him.
I think if we see the third string tight end in the game under center, then we in bad shape, bro. They're in the Wildcat with the third string tight end under center, bro. We in bad shape, bro. Somebody didn't QA on this goddamn play calling that's going on. So yeah, listen. I don't know what play that was. Who thought of that play? But that shit should never be ever be executed and or allowed to. If I'm Lamar and I see that shit, I'm calling timeout, I'm cooking one, or I'm gonna audible that shit from the wide receiver position because that's where they put him at. Anyway, I digress. I know y'all got shit to do. We got a lot of other topics on this list.
Oh no, absolutely. You guys finna get crazy. But that was the weekly pick'em. I'm gonna save it for everybody. Guys, light up the chat. Let us know what you guys think is gonna be the upset for the week. Definitely who you got in this Baltimore Steelers game that's gonna be coming up. I think it's gonna be game of the week. Secondary behind that, it'll probably be Kansas City, Buffalo. Yeah, that's going to be getting the most attention. So, but I'm glad they kept those separate for sure.
They were smart not to put those on in the same block.
No, absolutely.
Same time.
But I like how they kept the champs. Now the champs get the better slot.
Right.
Make the Ravens battle it out with everybody else. Dallas will be the upset. Sid Bubba, Jesus.
Sid Bubba,
who's playing quarterback? You or me or Trey Young? What's his name? Trey Lance. There you go.
Right.
You, me, or Trey Lance is going to be starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. So I think I'm late. I need to actually get there.
I would be shocked. I can't imagine seeing that one. Wow.
No, absolutely.
I can't see that.
Absolutely. Oh, he just hates the Cowboys. Hey, that's fair. I don't hate no team but Chicago.
Right.
But that's because that's my rival. Like how much I hate Boston.
Different though. That's not right. That's not really hating though, right? Is it?
Nah. That's just rivalry.
No, that's a rivalry. There, that's not actual. Well, we can't even say that, can we? Because I think the Ohio State and Michigan people really and truly hate each other.
Oh no, I think they be fighting.
Yeah,
they definitely be fighting at their games.
Yeah. Those people. What is it? Ohio State won't even say Michigan. They say the school up north. They won't even say it. That's
the
real.
School up north in the M or something like this. Something stupid. There's something weird every single time. But yeah, where'd you go?
I think he stepped off for a second.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they are due for one. I mean, one what? The Dallas Cowboys said, Bubba, that's a awful from top to like the owner's awful, the GM's awful. Well, he is the damn GM. The coach is awful. The quarterback's awful. Now that quarterback is gone. Your backup's awful. Your the run game's awful. Your defensive line is awful. Your secondary is awful.
Your all-pro Russian can't shut the hell up, and we're gonna get to that next.
He's calling Michael McCarthy his full freaking government name. Like, come on, bro. That's your coach, Coach McCarthy. That's his name.
Thank you,
Coach McCarthy.
Right.
I don't never like all my coaches in high school, middle school. I'll call them Coach.
Yeah, that's weird to me, man.
Coach.
Weird.
I may have played for other teams. I may have went to the Navy, whatever.
Right.
Come always back coach.
Yeah.
I come back. It's not hey, Mr. Johnson, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Alexander, how you doing? Nah, it's Coach.
Coach
Dennis, what's going on, bro? You all right? Hey, man, I'm going good, young fella.
And it's crazy too because there are very few cases in which the player is older than the coach. So it's like, very have respect, man. Have respect. I mean, absolutely. I get it if you're LeBron and JJ Redick or or pretty much
older than all of them coaches.
Right. So okay, cool. Hey JJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's okay. Or what's my Sean McVay? I think he's like 36. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, Sean, but like kind of weird.
Like, LeBron has earned that right. I'm a 4-time champion, 4 or 5-time MVP. Mike Parsons, bro.
That's true too.
You ain't got nothing.
You haven't done anything yet.
You haven't done nothing.
2-time All-Pro.
2-time All-Pro. That's cute.
But yeah, I get your point though. Like he hasn't done enough to be able to.
Because I don't think he's registered a stack in the playoffs yet.
Nah, not at all.
So that 2-time All-Pro don't get you nowhere, bro.
No sir. No sir.
Michael McCarthy has a Super Bowl.
Definitely going to talk about that. Matter of fact,
yeah.
Where's G?
Guess I can at least be on to the wife get back.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'm verifying it, but I do not believe he has a playoff sack either, which is freaking crazy.
I don't think he has a playoff sack.
Yeah, so
granted, he's only been there twice, but
not the point though.
He didn't sack us last year. I know he's
supposed to be a game record like that, right? So what's going on? No, he's got one. He has one.
Oh, he does have one.
Yes, he has one in 4 career playoff games. Yeah, it's 1 sack.
4?
That ain't gonna get it done though.
Worse.
Yeah, that's not gonna get it done.
Nah,
that ain't it.
1 sack in 4 playoff games is crazy work. All right, well, the G-Mice is back, man. You guys be easy. I'm about to go back and get some work done, tend to the kids and the wife.
Make it happen.
Go Pack, go, bro. Absolutely, as always, bro. I'll see you guys Saturday.
All right, brother.
Yep. All right, bro.
Yo. Okay. Real quick, let me look this up.
Hey man, Transformer does a really good job with the pick'ems, man. Like
he does.
See, like week in and week out, he just get better and better, man. Like
yeah. I enjoy running that with him. That's good.
Yep.
All right, G. Well, let's get. Why did he leave his? He left his. All right, let's go ahead and boom. Let's rock. All right, brother. Let's rock. So next up, I believe that's me. Michael Parsons. This guy. So we know the Cowboys are total garbage this season, right? Dumpster fire, whatever you want to call them. garbage can juice, all that. Trail City TV, what's going on? What's going on? Okay. We'll do that. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the channel, fam. I appreciate you. So yes, let's go ahead and talk about Michael Parsons, man. This guy. So as we were saying there, talking with Transformer just a few minutes ago, he is supposed to be one of the best defensive players in the league. He's been in the league 3 years now. I believe he's 3 times all pro, 2 times first team, 1 time second. And he's been a game wrecker, right? He has been an elite pass rusher for his whole time in the league. Let's see, total sacks. I should have had this written down. But in 3 seasons, he's got 28 and a half sacks, right? So we know that he gets after the quarterbacks. That's what he's there to do, is get after the quarterback. And so we watch this guy and we see, okay, he can do work. This year, he's had some injury issues that's kind of kept him out a little bit. But the Dallas Cowboys are, as I mentioned, they're terrible this year. And his first game back was this last game where they got smoked by the Eagles. What was that, 34-6, 31-6? They got beat bad in their own house, right? And so Michael Parsons was getting interviewed at his locker post-game, and he had some interesting comments which pretty much sparked a bit of a firestorm, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play a clip from that commentary. We'll come back and talk about it, and then we'll hear some more. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll get back.
Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's, of course, going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are worried about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But the guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's what I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
So that to me was crazy, G. I mean, first, so if he's not here next year, that's above my pay grade. He can go on and do whatever he wants. Like, okay. And then, that's your coach, right? So I'm sure you could say something a little better than that. And then to say, I get it, you're trying to stick up for your teammates, but to say that those guys have put in more work than Mike McCarthy ever did, you forgetting that guy's a champion. He might not be a champion with the Cowboys, but he's a world champion, right? So, I mean, he's won a lot of playoff games in his career. He's led you guys to 12-plus wins in the last 3 consecutive seasons. That's been your coach your entire NFL career. What the hell are you talking about, Michael Parsons? That's what I want to know. Give me what were your first thoughts when you heard those comments there, G?
I thought it was funny. It's giving us insider trading information, right? Telling us what's to come next. Because if you leave it up to Jerry, does everything is well and then nothing's going on. So I think these guys are doing really, really bad, man. And the expectations was extremely high. You sign your quarterback to a multi-million-dollar deal, and you have no return on your investment. But the coach is going. We're not going to fire him. We're not going to fire him, right? We're not going to get rid of him right now. We're going to wait till Dion is available and bring Dion in. Speculation, but
no doubt.
But yeah. So Mike could just, he just is off the cuff, man. It seemed like he the emotions from the field was kind of like he got caught in the camera with the microphone, and he said some old shit, like some stuff he shouldn't have probably said. He should have let the emotions from that loss kind of go away and then readdress the media. But they know what they probably saw it on his face. Like, he looked frustrated. He looked pissed off. Let's poke the bear, ask him some questions and see what we get. And he off the cuff, like somebody old ass grandmother, like no chill, no filter. He just said whatever was on his heart, and I'm sure he had to apologize later on because you're not getting rid of the coach this game,
right?
And I don't know. That's what I think, man. I just think he
I agree.
Didn't have time to kind of make a
excuse me,
do some media training and some shit. Like, don't throw your coach under the bus.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he's not there, like even if he's only working like a 6 to 2, you know what I'm saying? Like he only putting in 8 hours, and he's like, listen, man, like I know I'm out of here. You that season is not salvageable, and
not at all. No, they bargained
all
about.
it.
I think McCarthy's gonna get fired. I do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I'm sure he's gonna get fired. He has to, like, unless you want to continue to lose. I don't know, but I also think they need to make a change. If you're gonna do it, you just do it. You start fresh, just like we see all these other teams. But I think if we look at like the amount of money that's being like pushed out for that, just in general, the Dallas Cowboys in itself, I think they have like one of the. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure they under the cap. They have to, but then they did move some pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not a big Cowboys fan, but I'm going to quote Cam Newton on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck are we still talking about the Cowboys?
because we have to.
No. Well, they gave it a
he's
a
right.
lot of people care. A lot of people care. Yeah.
No, he's right, and you're right. But yeah, that's exactly why. They have done such a brilliant job marketing. It's like that's one of those teams you got to talk about, good or bad. And because Jerry is always going to give you something, and he's always going to have the type of players that are going to give you something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I look at it. But so my problem is this, right? To your point, these dudes, you're making a ton of money, right? You have the off season. Why are you not taking media training? Because you're going to turn around and complain that the media takes your words and twists them and distorts them, and the media this and the media that, right? But let's also keep in mind, Michael Parsons has a multi-million-dollar podcast, right? Bleacher Report has his podcast, The Edge, I believe it's called. That dude gets a lot of money off that. He's a member of the media, so he needs to stop this, right? Not necessarily traditional or mainstream media, but he is a member of the media, so we need to stop this villainization of the damn media members. That's got to stop. And I know I'm a little sensitive about that. I get it, but yes, I can admit that. No, I admit it. But I mean, in all seriousness, though, like we got to stop the villainization of the media, because what that does is it takes all the responsibility away from the person for not knowing how to control what they say and what they do, right? They blame it on the media. Well, you said it. I didn't make you say it. You said it, right? And I'm not twisting your quote. Everyone is seeing you, right? Because if you actually watch that clip, it's in the locker room in front of his locker. So everybody is seeing him saying it. All the reporters are there with their recorders in his face. Like, so he's saying it. So the media is not twisting any of your words. You're right there, right? And so to your point, they need to get this media training. And secondly, even if they don't have media training, you mentioned the like the testosterone, you're all, fueled up, you're emotional coming off the field. Totally get it. So the smart players say, I'm not talking to any media till I go get my shower, till I get dressed. Then I'll come out and address the media, whether it's in the media room at the arena or whether it's right there in the locker room. Take your time, get your thoughts in order so that you don't have to be, no? Am I? No?
No. Not with that record. You add that shit out. Something has to change. Listen.
Right.
You're not gonna play for us. Why should we play for you? It's just the players get fed up, man. Like they get fed up.
And they have a right to. They're people too, But what I'm saying is
it's not like an offensive player saying this is a defensive player. And so, they have to stop these offenses day in and day out. Granted, he was hurt, but they have to stop these offenses day in and day out. And, to no avail, like the offense isn't doing anything. And if I'm not mistaken, the quarterback, Cowboys coach, he's an offensive minded coach, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like he came from Yeah. And so for them not to be able to put up any points, it's like, yo, like, help me out here.
Yeah, but a lot of injuries going on, and Jerry refused to get them a quality running back in the offseason when he could have, blah, blah, blah. Like there's a lot of things roster-wise. It's not a good roster. The roster turnover from last year to this year is crazy. Well, between injuries and guys leaving, because they had a lot of quality players on that team. But regardless, I'm just saying, like, maybe not him specifically, but in general, players got to stop complaining about the media twisting their words and take a little more responsibility, right? And that's why I was saying, like, yo, just I'm not speaking to anybody till I take my shower and I get dressed. Then I'll come out and address y'all, whether it's in the locker room or in the media room. Like, that's all you have to do. You know, you're obligated to give some time, and that's fine. But they're going to wait until you give it to them, right? I've been in the media room in post game, and I'm sitting there looking at my watch like, damn, what's taking these dudes so long? You know, but they taking their time and making sure they're right before they come in there because they don't want to get misconstrued on anything they say, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But so Michael Parsons, like I was saying, he has his podcast on Bleacher Report. It's called The Edge. And so I think somebody asked him like the following day about his comments about McCarthy. And he was smart about this one. He's like, I'll address it on the podcast, right? Because he knows, what does that do? That pushes views to his show, right? So people are going to go watch it to find out what it was that he said. So I got a clip of it, and make sure I didn't get a copyright. I just do it how I do it. I got the thumbnail there, but you'll hear what Michael Parsons had to say when he was discussing his comments on his show, The Edge, a couple of days later after that. So we'll hear what he has to say, then we'll come back and break that down as well.
Before we get into any, Eagles Cowboy play, I want to just hit it right on the head. The controversy statement between me and Mike McCarthy. And first and foremost, if anyone ever felt a type of way about the situation, I would like to apologize like I did when I met with Coach McCarthy, apologize to his face, man to man. Whether people understood what I said and didn't, this is why we're here. Obviously, I said Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin, guys who be on their last year, on their way up, because that's who I want to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things for those type of legends who put more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. When I say statements like that, and when I put things like that, thinking about my teammates, right? I understand the coaching aspect, but when you think of guys like Zach Martin, I think of guys like DeMarcus Lawrence. Before Tyron left, I think of guys like Tyron Smith. I think of guys like Zeke. I mean, you can even go way back to, I never played with Jason Witten, but think about Jason Witten. Every day you look at all these legends who put in so much time and work into the blue and white. With the Cowboys, they represent how they represented the Dallas Cowboys. Even DeMarcus Ware, you think about all these great legends. And fortunate enough, I got to play with quite a few. I'm still playing with CeeDee Lamb. I'm still playing with Zach Martin. But when I think about all those guys that helped me get better, helped me grow as a player, how much Zach helped me with my technique, critiqued me, even when I was wrong, helped me get better. Guys like Tyron, Dak, Zeke, guys that kind of molded me into the player I am. And, kind of took this young rookie guy that, and kind of helped move me to a place where some would say a superstar, but I would say still a humbling beginning to be able to be on the same playing field as those guys, and understanding that since I've been in the league, every year a team changes, right? There's never going to be the same amount of players. Not the same amount of players, the same players on the same team. There'll be a couple that come back because obviously cap reasons, you got to pay guys retire. But since I've been, MG retired, obviously we let him go, but MG retired. But all those great players that I didn't even think we would lose Tyron. So, you just play with so many great players. You never know when it's going to be their last year. I understand that guy like Zach's in his last year of his deal. He could look at retirement. I don't know yet, but, obviously we understand how much time he's put into Dallas Cowboys. He's a legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He just done so many great things. So when I think about guys who I want to win a title for, he's at the top of my list. When Tyron's here, I want to win a title for him and Zach. So it just didn't matter to me about the player. It just didn't matter about the importance and how much, they bring to the program. These guys have just been always true leaders, always been devoted to helping everyone grow. So to me, and it has nothing to do with coaching, right?
All right. So what are your thoughts on that, man? I made some notes, but what are your thoughts on what Micah had to say?
I don't really have a lot to say. It just started to sound like he was dancing around questions, trying to clean up some of the stuff he said. And at the same time, the whole thing with I talk to him man to man, and I apologize man to man, and so I think he's trying to clean it up because at the end of the day, the coach still have the power to sit his ass down. And and so yeah, I don't know, man. Like it was a lot of rambling going on there for me.
That's exactly one of the words I wrote down. You're absolutely right.
A lot of rambling, man. So what does this all mean? Does this mean they're gonna come out and win? Like
No.
what is this? It doesn't. Yeah, man.
No.
Like, come on, bro.
No.
Nobody don't care about how you feel, man. They only play them Dallas fans only want to see a W in that win column, and that's it. They don't care how you feel about the coach's wife. Nobody cares. Fucking play football. You could have did a lot of things better, right? They put up 40-some points on you. I mean, he was getting at the ball. He was doing something first half, but I thought second half he was just. I didn't really, and I haven't really watched it close because it's the Dallas Cowboys, and I know it has to be down. There's no way teams are losing their Sundays and Mondays watching that bullshit. But that happens.
I will give him credit. Yeah, he had 2 sacks in the game, so I'll give him credit. But I mean, like more garbage time stats, basically.
Third down? Was it a third down sack?
Freaking 34-6. Like, what do those 2 sacks mean? But no, to the point you made, G. This is literally what I wrote down: mumbling, rambling nonsense. That's the first thing I wrote down. Like, what are you talking about, man? You just on and on. You're not taking any accountability for what you said. You're not. You could have very simply said, "Listen, that's my coach," and I mean, lie to us. You know what I'm saying? That's my coach. I have all the respect in the world for that guy. He led us to 3 straight outstanding seasons. All I've known under that coach is winning since I've been in the NFL. And I said some things the other day and they didn't come out right. And for that, I apologize. And I would never, do anything to disrespect my coach publicly or privately. Like, that's all he had to say, right? That's not difficult. But instead, he wants to come on here. And I want to assume that he's repping for his teammates. And I get it. But all that rambling, mumbling nonsense, we don't know what the hell you're talking about, man. Like, again, you guys really need, not you guys, but you guys as in like these athletes, y'all need these PR people to help you out. You really need to take time and learn how to deal with the media and learn how to speak and control what you're saying, because it's bad. We always talk about Tom Brady being the master of saying everything but saying nothing, right? We watched this guy for 22 years. He could give you a 5-minute soundbite but say nothing. Like, that's how you're supposed to do it. Nothing controversial, no problems. Just, you're obligated to speak. That's fine. But learn how to, that stuff he was doing, I don't even get it. Then he's talking about, guys helped me become a superstar, but I'm humble. Like, wait a minute, you're humble and you're a superstar? Like, guys who are humble don't say they're superstars. Like, what are we saying here? You saying that at the same time. Doesn't make any sense, And again, just no accountability for his comments. Also, no love for the coaching staff. We hear you talk about all these players that helped you get to the level of player that you currently are in the NFL. And you're an outstanding player in the NFL. Now, how outstanding, that's left to be determined, right? Because he's a guy that racks up a lot of numbers in the regular season. When it comes down to it, in 4 career playoff games, he has 1 sack. Where are you when we need you the most, when you're supposed to be that game wrecker? Anybody who watches this show, anybody who knows me understands that I am a true believer that the postseason is where legends are made. And that's where all the gaudy numbers, they don't mean a whole lot. You have to show up there on that stage, and that's going to help you along. Also, to kind of end that quote out, when he said, basically everything that he's accomplished has nothing to do with coaching. Bro, what's wrong with you? If there's any sport where coaching means the most, it's in the NFL, right? You have 22 starters and 53 men every week that you need to deal with. You have, multiple freaking assistants and position coaches and all that you have to guide, and that you have to basically be, the over, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say overseer, but basically you have to lead all of that. Coaching means the absolute most in the NFL, because you got so many players that one guy is not necessarily the difference maker, right? if you have a LeBron or a Kobe or a Jordan or an Olajuwon in basketball, that one guy can carry you, right? It's not like that in football, as you well know, right? That's why they call it the ultimate team game. So to say, none of that has anything to do with coaching, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Some of these guys are so, to me, so tone deaf and just so, I don't even know, man. It's just frustrating, though. It really is. And I'm like, somebody just take this dude's podcast away, man, or focus on your podcast in the summertime, because I'm just so disappointed about the lack of focus on what he should be focusing on. And even still with the podcast, he doesn't seem to be doing a great job with that. Now, he's a Dallas Cowboy, so a lot of people are watching and listening to it. So cool. But opinion stated was good. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, the fact that he's a Dallas Cowboy puts, automatic media attention on him. So I get it. And I think that's probably a big part of why Bleacher Report got his show. Because if you've ever actually listened to his show, and I think in the past I've done another show talking about him and the stuff that he says on his pod, his show doesn't give you much of anything. It's not very insightful. It's not very, I don't even know. It's he's very
Draymond Green of the NFL.
Yeah, that's another one. Great analogy, G. Great analogy. You're 100% right, bro. Because that's another one. Like I will listen to the Draymond show, but I'm totally unimpressed by it. Totally unimpressed. And man, I might have listened to Draymond's show like 5 times. So yeah.
You know what? If I'm Micah, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm really going to try to clean that shit up, because you know that this coach is pretty much out the door.
Yeah.
But you know what? The next coach, he may not like that shit that you threw the guy before him under the bus.
Great point.
And he might not want your ass there, and so you gotta just play your role, bro. Like, don't go in the front office. Stay out of the front office.
Right.
Because that's the last thing you want, somebody in your camp who, you know what I mean, soon as things go south, he taking you to the principal office, he talking bad to you in front of the media. Like,
facts.
Yeah, so I don't know, if I'm him, I definitely would tread lightly with all the even if the guy isn't, we've all been there with coaches who, lack the effort and or not winning or not producing, and you still got to play for the guy.
Right. So, but can you really say that about Mike McCarthy? Because again, for the previous 3 seasons, all Michael Parsons has ever known since he's been in the league until now is what? Winning the division and winning 12 games and then going to the playoffs. And at that point, I don't know that I blame the coach, because it's like, okay, these players aren't showing up in these big games. So how much can we blame Mike McCarthy? Clearly, he knows what he's doing. And again, he's a world champion. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. So how much can we really blame him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it goes back to just, players being spoiled, man. Like, they signed that big contract.
Yes,
First thing happening is, oh, my legs hurt, I can't play. You look at CMC. CMC got that money, and then he set it down for like 8 games. He went and got married and everything. And then he say,
he went overseas to try and get the same thing Kobe got, the knee thing in Germany, the blood spitting. But apparently it didn't work the same way for him. CMC don't strike me as the type of dude that's going, I don't know. He might be, but he doesn't strike me that way. But I could be wrong. I don't know the guy. So, but yeah, anything else you wanted to add on this Michael Parsons topic? And then we'll open up the phone lines.
Good topic.
No doubt. All right, so y'all know what time it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number in the chat, and it's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts on Michael Parsons and this. Give us your thoughts on Michael Parsons. I would love to hear it. But yeah, G, this is kind of like, I don't even know, man. I'm like, what's I don't know, these new age cats. I just think I do understand, like, there's so much money out there and you got to strike while the iron is hot. But I'll also look at it like, if you're focused on mastering your craft, everything else will come. But I could be wrong with that as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so it looks like we're pretty quiet on this topic. Which is odd, Cowboys super popular team, America's team, so they say. But so we will go ahead and we'll move right to the next topic, which is main event of the night. Bronny James, man. Bronny is still not good. So all right, let's go. Bronny James, obviously son of LeBron James Jr., Los Angeles Laker, drafted 55th pick overall, and he is now also a member of the G-League team. Was it the South Bay Lakers, which is the LA Lakers G-League affiliate? And we've gone through it ad nauseum. Why I think, some people disagree, but why I think that LeBron shouldn't have done what he did in terms of greasing the skids to get his son drafted, blah blah blah. So let's go back real quick and let's do a little history, right? So LeBron, obviously one of the greatest players of all time, or widely regarded as such. I don't necessarily see it that way, but it's a whole different discussion. Widely regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, most prolific scorer in NBA history, professional basketball history across the globe, over 40,000 career points, over 10,000 career assists, over 10,000 career rebounds, only player to ever do that. Just a myriad of statistical accomplishments over his career. Four-time champion in 10 finals appearances. We gotta say that. We can't just say four-time champion. If we're gonna say that, we gotta say the other part, right? Four-time champion in 10 finals appearances, four-time NBA Finals MVP, four-time league MVP. So damn, Steve. So he is here come young disciple. Yeah, this guy's timing is amazing. But anyway, so LeBron, he has done all of these things, and we heard LeBron say 5 or 6 years ago that it was his dream to play with his son in the NBA. So we know that LeBron is a guy who him and his team are very good at playing the long game, planning things out for years in advance, right? And so that was around the time I think Bronny was in like 8th grade. So all this happens. Bronny goes to Sierra Canyon, an exclusive high school out there. He plays with a bunch of, I think, 5 other guys who would go to the NBA, including Zaire Wade, Dwayne Wade's son. And here's the interesting part. Here's where stuff starts getting funny, right? Bronny James was never the best player on his team in high school. That's not an opinion. Like, everybody knows that. And Bronny James ended up being a McDonald's All-American, right? And I think he averaged 14.5 points a game that year that he was a McDonald's All-American. And it's funny because Kendrick Perkins, who was also a McDonald's All-American in the past, he said it on First Take. No McDonald's All-American has never averaged so low points per game per season in a season, right? 14.5. Okay, cool. Plaxico Burress, he was a basketball star in high school as well as a football star, ended up winning a championship with the New York Giants, two championships with the New York Giants, right? 2 Super Bowls. And he is a Fox Sports 1 radio personality and contributor. And he said on air on the, Up On Game podcast with LeVar Arrington, TJ Houshmandzadeh, that Tim Hardaway Sr. told him that LeBron James called the McDonald's All-America people to get Bronny James on the McDonald's All-America team, right? So we're seeing from that high school point that LeBron is getting Bronny stuff that wasn't earned, right? But yet he keeps with this earned not given mantra. Okay, so Bronny's in high school. I think it was when he was a senior in high school, and LeBron was watching. He put out the now famous tweet. He's watching. He says, "I'm here watching NBA on League Pass. Bronny better than most of the guys in this league. Stuff lightweight, hilarious, right?" Oh, okay. There was another game. LeBron tweets out, "Bronny could help the Lakers right now." Okay, so you see, LeBron is already pushing it. Greasing the skids, putting stuff in motion. All right, cool. So he's doing all of this. Bronny goes to Southern Cal. I'm gonna give me a second, Jay. I'm cooking.
Take your time.
He goes to USC, and which is coincidence, right? Because if Bronny was supposed to be the player that LeBron said he was, why would he go to USC, which is not a basketball school? At the very least, okay, let's say he wanted to stay home in Cali. All right, cool. Why not go to UCLA, which is a traditional blue blood basketball powerhouse, right? cool. So we got that. All right. Then we see Bronny goes to USC. He ends up having the heart condition. I don't know if it was a cardiac arrest. I can't remember what was the exact heart condition, but Bronny, it was serious enough that it was said that he almost died, right? And we're not making any light of that. We are very happy that Bronny was able to successfully navigate that. He was able to come back, and he is healthy enough to be able to obviously play basketball at a professional level after a whole year in college. So, much respect and much love for that, right? Because as a parent, I don't know what I would do if something happened to any one of my children, right? So I totally get that. So I'm not even making light of that. That's nothing, right? So, all right. So then we know that after 1 year in college, which Bronny did not play well, okay, we can chalk that up to whatever we want, recovery from the heart condition, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, we can say that, okay. But he did not play well. He decides he's going to come out and come into the league. LeBron greases the skids, gets this guy drafted, and thank you, young disciple. So it was a cardiac arrest. Thank you, sir. Yes, so LeBron greases the skids, gets this undrafted 55th to the Lakers, coincidentally, whom he plays for, and the rest is history. We know all that, right? So, okay, cool. So I was one of the people, and I've been a lot of people, unfortunately, throughout this country, sports fans throughout the world, been saying like, yo, Bronny didn't deserve that. Basically it wasn't cool how it happened. We know that it's all basically for LeBron, right? This is not about Bronny. This has always been about LeBron. That is what I've said from the very beginning. And people say, oh, you're a hater. You don't want to see a black man succeed, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. All right, cool. So now that we're kind of caught up a little bit, I'm gonna play some stuff for you, and then we're gonna continue to move forward in time. So this was Stephen A. Smith on First Take the morning following LeBron and Bronny not setting the record, but having their historical moment, being the first father and son duo to play in the NBA together at the same time. So remember what Bruce said, the hater, the guy who wants to hate on a black man and hate on a father, and what kind of father wouldn't do this for his son, and blah, 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 which we'll get to. But remember that. So this is what Stephen A. Smith had to say the morning after on First Take.
Look, y'all, I hate doing this.
Oh, God.
Wendy and Kendrick Perkins
Stephen A. about to keep it real.
Absolutely right, particularly from the LeBron standpoint. LeBron, to me, is the second greatest player in the history of basketball. He deserves this. This is what he wanted. It's what he's always wanted. He deserves this. Wendy was absolutely right about the Lakers being all in on LeBron. And what can you do to soak as much out of him as you possibly can to have him even more inspired? He's a billionaire. He's a 4-time champion. He's been to 10 NBA finals. He's a surefire first ballot future Hall of Famer. He's on a Mount Rushmore. And it's very, very important, the point that you pointed out, Wendy, because they are all in. And it's very smart of J.J. Redick. Let's call it what it is. He wouldn't be a head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers if it wasn't for LeBron James, okay? We all know this. And I believe in J.J. Redick. I think he's going to do a great job. I'm never rooting against him. I'm rooting for him. But that's the fact, okay? So we got that out the way. Now we get to Bronny. And Kendrick Perkins, I'm going to say this, and the reason I say this is primarily because of you, because you were one of the people that reminded me of this, which buffers Doggy's point. Bronny James was a McDonald's All-American. There was questions as to whether or not he deserved that. On the collegiate level, his health compromised the level of production he could have given. That was compromised. He ended up getting drafted 55th overall. What's the problem with that? The problem with it is not the draft pick at 55, because you had people interested in going and grabbing him earlier, just out of respect for LeBron James. They didn't grab him earlier. So it's not the problem with him being picked at 55. The problem was the money he got compared to what the 55th pick got the year before that. Knowing that the Lakers were in a compromising position financially, still in all, they got that money for him in a fashion that wasn't going to happen, or has never happened for the 55th pick in a draft prior to that. So there's a whole bunch of things that have gone on that have sort of facilitated the situation that happened last night. And anybody who's watching the sport, who knows the sport, who loves LeBron James, who loves the Lakers, but also loves the game of basketball, is going to have a bit of trepidation. I'm here in Los Angeles with the both of y'all. We have all run across people in the streets of LA who are diehard fans of the Lakers. They are a part of Laker Nation. They didn't like this. Some of them didn't like this at all. Now, that crowd last night loved it, We all loved it. I was there. We all loved it when Bronny and LeBron walked into the game together. It was a magnificent moment to see, no question about that. But because so much has happened to facilitate that moment transpiring last night, inevitably is going to invite the level of scrutiny that Doggy has pointed out. Doggy is right on the money in terms of what a lot of people throughout America are feeling. And last night moment, it was a great, great thing to see for LeBron. It was special for LeBron. But from this point forward, it's going to be more about Bronny.
All right, G, I'm going to let you go, and then I'll respond. Go ahead, man.
Wow, that was a lot of information, man. Really, really good job on that research. You just kind of took us from day one. We first started kind of talking about this topic all the way up until now, where he's actually in the G League, and what we've seen was him not dominating on any level of the game, but being afforded the ability to be drafted and play in the league, but then get kicked down to G League, and he's never been the best player on any team he's played on. And that's pretty much what we've seen. Was it noble of his father to do what he did by affording his son, that path? It's debatable, right? But these things have a way of kind of leveling themselves out, right? Like we always talk about, you can't be intelligent, you can't be dumb and play intelligent, right? And right, and you can be good and play bad, but you can't be bad and play good. And so what we've seen is that the apple fell really, really far away from the tree when we look at LeBron and Bronny. He takes more after his mom when it comes to athleticism. But I mean, the verdict isn't out yet. We still got Ben Simmons. Right. And it's just gonna take some time, man. Like, he don't really have to dominate, and he's not been able to do that. And so, but there's dogs in the G League, man. He might not. He may not come back because he's not even the best player on that team, right? Like, there's other players on that team that put up numbers, man. And so, if we're gonna be fair here, we're gonna call it square. Like, if I'm an unbiased coach, why would I pick this kid out of, if we're just looking at it just from, bucket from bucket, skill for skill, like your talent today, right now, not looking in the future, like, I'm not picking him up. I'm not picking him up. Nah. He can ride the bench.
No. Right.
That's pretty much my stance on that, man. Like,
all right, so I took some notes, as you know I like to do while these things are playing, right? So first, remember what I've always said from the beginning of this thing. It's not about Bronny, right? I've always said that. It's about LeBron. And we heard it. We heard it from Stephen A. We've heard it from others, but we heard him say this, what LeBron wanted. LeBron deserves this. LeBron, right? Okay, cool. Then we heard Stephen A. talk about how the Lakers wanted to keep LeBron engaged in this season. Brian Windhorst has reported this. Other people have reported. So LeBron is the dude. Since when does he need to remain engaged? Or we always hear him talking about how he's charged up and he's ready to go and how much he loves the game and blah, blah, blah. So now it's a function of the Lakers trying to do things to keep him engaged and going hard for the season. Like, okay, fine. Then we hear Stephen A. quickly throw in about how we know that JJ Redick doesn't have that job if it's not for LeBron. So all these things that we're hearing, right, from somebody who is plugged into the league and has been for many years are the same things I've been saying, right? But okay, cool. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's all good. So we hear him being Stephen A. talking about LeBron getting JJ Redick the job. All right, cool. Well, I think anyone with eyes and ears could have known that, right? Okay, cool. All right. So now, next thing is 55th pick, and people always say, well, why is it a big deal? He's only the 55th pick. True indeed, but the 55th pick got an $8 million deal. That doesn't happen. And it wasn't a two-way. He got an $8 million 4-year deal. That doesn't happen, right? So here's the deal. they said from the beginning that Bronny would go down to the G League, but how many dudes? And again, we know this because he's LeBron James' son, so I get it. But how many guys, who are the 55th pick and are announced that they're, first of all, 55th pick? It's not normally announced that they're going down to the G League, right? But okay, cool. So he's going down to the G League, but they make sure that they get this major, historical event first, right? Why? Obviously, because he's his father's son. Okay, I get it. When you are the son of some people, different rules apply in some cases. But sports are supposed to be the meritocracy. It's not supposed to go like that. To G's point, it's supposed to be whoever's the nicest, that's who gets the attention, that's who gets to play, what have you. But this is not what we're seeing. Okay, cool. So here's the thing, right? So they did announce from the beginning that he's going to the G League. But when he actually went down to the G League, and I'm sure this was the plan all along, now you find it and you see, now it gets released that he's in the G League, but he's not going to be playing. He's not going to be going on any road trips with his team. When his team goes on road trips, they call him back up to be on the main roster. We've never seen that before. We've never seen that before. That's how you know this whole thing is a farce. This whole thing is nothing but a farce. And this is all, as Steve said, to feed LeBron's ego. This is all about LeBron so he can say, well, I did something Michael Jordan never did. Oh, okay, great, cool, great for you, right? But then they have the nerve to continue with this earned, not given nonsense. LeBron, you can say what you did was earned, not given. I got no problem with that. You earned every bit of what you got. All right, yes, I got no problem with LeBron saying earned, not given. I'm going to leave that there. But we can't say that for Bronny because we know it's a crock of BS. We know that, right? Okay. So I saw a comment in here, and that was, I think it was Young Disciple, and the question was, why is Stephen A. worried about Jeannie Buss's pockets? It's not about Stephen A. being worried about Jeannie Buss's pockets. It's about talking about a team and a league that's a salary cap league. So if the Lakers are constantly talking about not having the money to make certain moves, you made sure you had the money to make that move. And I think it was reported, not proven, but suspected and reported that the way they did it was they messed around with LeBron's contract so that they could free up the money to give it to Bronny. But I don't know exactly how they did it. I read somewhere that it might have been funny and kind of moving into the gray area of how to work the contracts. I don't know. I'm not a cap guy. I don't know that, but that's what I read. All right. Somebody else put a comment about MJ's kids. First of all, why is anyone bringing up Michael Jordan's kids? See, this is what LeBron fans do, right? Immediately, oh, MJ this, MJ that. Why are you bringing up Michael Jordan's kids? Because if we're real, both of Michael Jordan's kids were better players than Bronny on a high school level, on a collegiate level. There's no question about that. But Michael Jordan respects the game more than LeBron does. And that's why he wouldn't do something like this. But that's cool because we got more. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it some more. So next up, I got comments from that same episode of First Take with Kendrick Perkins, and he's telling the truth a little bit about Bronny. So check this out.
The moment that we witnessed last night is not about whether or not Bronny belongs in the NBA or what his future is going to look like in the NBA. This was a moment for the James family, the NBA family, all former players, current players that have sons, right? And you think about what Bronny has been through. He almost lost his life, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. He almost lost his life.
So this is interesting, right? So we keep hearing people talking about Bronny almost lost his life. Bronny almost lost his life. So I guess we're saying that it's an amazing thing to say that Bronny went from almost losing his life to now playing basketball in the best league in the entire world. Okay. But in life, as I always say, two things can be true, right? Every coin got two sides. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, why is nobody ever bringing up the other side that he almost lost his life, but his father was still selfish enough to press him for his own ego and his own accomplishments to press him into doing this? That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. He almost lost his life, but he's still pushing. Hey, man, we got to do this. We got to do this. That's really interesting. Oh, my bad. Yeah. So that's that to me is, that's something interesting. And I always wonder why nobody brings that part up. Okay. So moving right along, and eventually we'll get to the reason I'm going through all this. Number one is the history of the thing. And number two, if we're real, there's not really much to talk about when it comes to Bronny's actual game, because as I see on the thumbnail, he's not that good, right? He's just not. And you can call me a hater if you want to, and that's fine, but he's just not. So this was something that was interesting. So if you remember a while back, probably about a month ago, we talked about this, and we talked about this topic, and I wasn't good with it at all. I've never been good with it, but a lot of other people are. And my partner G here, he was cool with it when he looked back at it. So let's take a look back at that, and then I got something else that we're gonna address that I thought was very interesting.
And I was one of the biggest critics when it came to this until I sat down and I thought about it. I put myself in LeBron's shoes. I was like, man, if I had the ability to do that, knowing, the position that my son is in, I would do it. Ball none, hands down. Like,
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's a parent here that wouldn't when it comes to a kid sport. Like, we're not talking about surgery. We're not talking about doing anything in the White House. We talking about playing basketball, bro. Like a kid's sport. You understand? Something that we played when we was young. That this kid really, this young man really, really loves and enjoys. And he was almost like taken from everybody. We would have never known what this kid. We would have never known what this kid could do or could be. But now we actually getting the opportunity. To see that. Yeah, to see that. So before we start constantly critiquing this kid, remember he had a heart condition, and now he has the ability to live out his dream. And what type of man, what type of dad would you be if you didn't want to see that?
All right, so
you mother. Hey, so, you know what, man? Hold on. All right. I was minding my business today, man. Like, oh man, yeah, man. I that didn't age well, but at the same time, I still think the onus is on Bronny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because his inability to play, that dream won't ever be fulfilled unless somebody constantly like allow him to, continue on this circus show. But when you go down to the G League and it's a semi-pro league, right? And you're not producing, it changes things for you, man. Like, people gonna look at you. I can understand in the league, all right, but when you go to the G League, you're supposed to be 20-10. As a point guard, 6'1" guard, you at least 18-10. Double, something, assists or something. And he didn't have, minus the turnovers, right? He didn't. It didn't seem like he was, because everybody else, they kind of they went crazy. Like the other dude, he went crazy. Yeah, like 31.
Yeah, Oliver, yup. Because he's way better.
And so, yeah, but just I know they was expecting him to do a lot better than what he did, and the 5 turnovers in the G League, that don't equate to be called back to the NBA, man. Like, that's some other stuff.
So my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, G.
No.
No, I didn't mean to cut you while you were speaking. Go ahead, bro.
No, that's the only thing I really gotta say, man. Like I said before, this wasn't the first show we had about Bronny, right? Like, and so things evolved and things changed, right? And I think we both kind of looked at this because that was a pretty heated conversation, man. You had like it lasted for a couple topics when it came to Bronny. Yeah. But at the end, we was able to right the path and kind of level the bubbles, and everybody was in agreement. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're a bad dad, like, but
right.
If you got the juice to do something like that, then why wouldn't you? It's just basketball,
right.
But
so yeah,
the finished product is not there, right? It's not there.
Yeah,
it's not there.
Yeah. So this is part of how I know, like I said, this whole thing was a farce, because it's not even so much that he got called back up because it's like all of a sudden they realized he's good, right? He got called back up because they're trying to protect him, and his pops wants him with him. Like, he's not having the actual proper G League experience to become a better player, right? This is all a show. Like, that's all it is at the end of the day. This is all a show. So, all right. So his first G League game, right? He's only played one. He played 31 minutes, right? 31 minutes, 6 points. Okay. That's better than he did in the NBA, but okay. 2 of 9 from the field, 22%. 0% from 3, right? And he's got 6 points. 4 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right now, I'm not saying he'll never get better. Right now, he can't play. I mean, that's all there is to it. But yet he's still getting all these opportunities that guys who are so much better than him aren't getting, right? And that's where my frustration comes in. But that's cool because let's go back a little bit, right? So the question was, what type of dad, if they had the juice or they had the opportunity, wouldn't do something like that, right? So I thought that was very interesting, and I heard something, and I thought, wow, I guess this answers that question. So let's check it out.
I left my son on red recently. Oh, yeah, I ain't never had to do that before, but I had to because I'm like, you just gonna have to figure this one out, bro. We all have different lives.
True.
One thing I do know, which is consistent, if you want something bad enough, you will do whatever you can to get that. When it ain't about doing whatever you can to get it, when you tell me you want it, I don't want to hear it. Because we can all find excuses in every turn when it comes to getting in the way of what we want for ourselves. To dream of going to NBA, you thought it was just going to be a smooth ride, bro? You thought you was going to be able to dream it and say, I want to go to NBA, and it's just going to happen? Do you know all the barriers that's going to get in the way in life so you don't get there? It's hard for me as someone who went through all that, be uncomfortable, struggle, not want to do it, but end up doing it, and then end up getting what I wanted. I'm like, you got to get on the other side of hard. Like, that's the only way you reach what you want. You got to go through hard. And so when you're getting complaints back about the hard, I get it. Who the cares?
So let me start by saying this. D Wade has made some parenting choices I most certainly do not agree with. I'm not going to take it any further than that.
Trump not having that no more.
How? Right. Exactly. However, in terms of the basketball piece, his son Zaire Wade, who is a coincidentally former teammate in high school of Bronny James, who also is significantly better player than Bronny James, right? And you'll hear in a minute, I got another clip where he's got Zaire Wade on his podcast, and they're detailing Zaire Wade's journey so far. But the point is, Zaire Wade apparently reached out to him at some point recently asking, hey, can you help me? And you heard what the response was. I left him on red. Like, nah, you got to go through it. You got to earn it, right? That is what we call earned, not given, right? And D Wade, we know that he's the mayor of Wade County, right? You don't think that if he wanted to, he could go see Pat Riley and get Zaire Wade a spot on the end of the bench in Miami? You don't think so? Okay, let's say, nah, Pat Riley ain't having that because Pat Riley about business. Okay, that's cool. We know that D Wade is also, let's remember, he's also part owner of the Utah Jazz. Part owner of the Utah Jazz. So you're telling me that as part owner of the Utah Jazz, an NBA franchise, that if he wants his son on the end of the bench, that his son won't be there? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He's part owner of the Utah Jazz. Help me out, G. You laughing, but I mean, help me out, brother.
Listen, man, I'm trying to keep it basketball, man, but you know, the whole thing of like, I ain't gonna let my son play in the basket. I ain't gonna put my son in a position where he can play basketball, but I'm gonna let him cut his man meat off. Like, that's crazy work, bro. Like,
okay, yeah, that's
crazy, yo. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's wild. Yeah, no, and that's why I said he certainly has certain parenting decisions I'm not down with, right? Yo, I'm talking about Zaire Wade and the basketball. I'm talking about that. But in all seriousness though, right? Like, you don't think that he could have gotten, seriously, he's part owner of an NBA franchise. If he wanted to grease his kids for his son, he could have done that, right? The reason I specifically got that is because the question, it was stated that any father who had the opportunity, especially a black one, would do that, right? That's what I was told. And then I was asked, what kind of father who has the juice to do something like that wouldn't make that move for his son? And I was told not necessarily by you, but by other people. Like, yo, well, you wouldn't do that if you could for your kid. You wouldn't believe how many freaking people I've had this discussion with that was like, oh, if I could, I would do it. Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right. So anyway, that's the first part of that, right? So now we have Zaire Wade and D Wade, and Zaire was on D Wade's pod, and they were kind of detailing his journey. Now listen to Zaire Wade's journey and what he's going through to make his basketball dream come true, and then compare that to what Bronny has done.
In the G-League at 19, you didn't go to high school. I mean, you didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Right? Sierra Canyon as an 18-year-old, you got injured. We're going to go down your timeline.
Okay.
You got injured your senior year.
Well, let's start Heritage.
Okay, junior year.
What's doing? Yeah.
All right. Great junior year. Over 20 points a game. A lot of schools interested. Some interest.
Tough summer. Mental
summer. Yeah. Really tough summer for you. 18, big school, Sierra Canyon. Players that's in the pros right now. Actually, 3 players that's in the pros.
Shout out to the guys.
Shout out to BJ. Shout out to Zaire Williams. Shout out to Bronny.
Yeah, and Amari. 4 players in the pros. AB.
On your high school team.
Yes, sir.
You get injured. Don't have the year you want. Go to Brewster for the next year. COVID.
Shout out to Devin Carter.
Go with Devin Carter to Brewster. Shout out to Devin Carter. Got drafted by the Sacramento Kings. So now that's another teammate. It's 5 teammates.
Got 5 of them.
That's in the pros.
I got started 5 teammates.
Some cold dudes.
I got some cold dudes.
Brewster, pandemic, not really a lot to do there. Come out of that, and we make a decision to forego going to college and start the journey to be a pro. And knowing that was going to take a lot of steps to get there, it was going to be a tough journey. So we go to the G-League at 19.
Yep.
After G-League season, we end up going to Africa the next season.
BAL.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to BAL. Yeah. And then a quick stint for like some quick action in China.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much been your journey for the last 5 years of your life. Right?
Yeah.
So what does that journey tell you about yourself? And how does that journey prepare you for what you're going to do next, which is something that we all saw hit the social airways. So
yeah, my bad about that.
No, I knew about it before. But I'm just saying.
I say, I think that just shows like I love basketball. I think that's what it is. Like what it all comes down to. I don't think it has nothing to do with, but what I'm getting out of it, let's say, because a lot of people play for money or whatever the case is. I think for me, it was just like, loving the game. And obviously during that time, like I said, with the tough summers or the mental lapses, whatever it was, there were some moments, some summers that, you're sitting there and sometimes you contemplate. You're sitting there asking yourself, like, like what you want to do, because you don't want to give you all to something. If you're going to do something, you got to give you all to. You don't want to have.
You're contemplating giving up.
Right. So contemplating giving up is a serious thing. That's when the people around you mean the most, when you can just kind of vent to them. And, it's not really so much them trying to tell you, like, because of course they're going to want whatever it is for you, but really so much you just feeling, because a lot of it's bottled up for me. And it's like the media, it's all getting in my head. So just having a family to express it to felt like a relief itself. And then praying, talking to God, of course, and fighting through all that just kept me going. So that just shows the love for the game.
So I thought that was really interesting, that whole thing, because again, the 2 clips that we've played thus far with Wade, one by himself when he was saying he left his son on red, basically saying like, yo, you got to figure this thing out. And then him kind of interviewing his son, and his son, them detailing what Zaire Wade has gone through to try and make his dream come true. I think that's a great juxtaposition. Again, one, to show that everybody who has the ability to make something happen is not just going to hand it to their kid. And 2, there's value in the fight, right? Because the harder you work for something, I think the more you love it. I'll make an analogy that's not apples to apples, right? It's definitely apples to oranges, right? So when I joined the Army, was about 26, right? I never owned a car before, right? So I live in New York City, you don't need a car, right? Never owned a car before. Joined the Army, went to Germany, got a little beater to kind of move around, right? Cool, got my beater. Then I went to Iraq. I was in Iraq for a year, save up my money, blah, 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 right? Came home from Iraq, and I bought a brand new, I'll never forget this, 2010 Audi A4. I loved that freaking car. Brand new, 2010 Audi A4. Flying up and down the Autobahn in this car. Love this freaking car. brought it home back to the States, whatever. Love this car. Cool. So I bring that up to say, why did I love that car so much? Because nobody gave it to me. Because I literally sweated and bled. You know what I'm saying? My man G was there with me while we were going through it to get to the point where I could, head over to the box and earn that, right? Basic training, advanced individual training, first duty station, deployment, all that, right? I love that car because I worked for it. I earned it. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody handed it to me. Earned, not given, right? Nobody gave it to me, to use LeBron's phrase, earned, not given. So I love that. And so we hear it when we hear Zaire Wade talk, right? He's going through it. He's got a lot going on. He's taking all types of roundabout steps, played everywhere, putting in the work. But when he gets there, it's going to mean more. You know what I'm saying? And that's so G, go ahead, man. Give me your thoughts. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but give me your thoughts on that second video and what you hear about Zaire Wade and the difference in what he's going through to make his dream come true versus Bronny.
Oh, it sounds like he trying to get it out the mud, right? Versus to have, but this father doesn't have the same influence as LeBron. That grasp he has on the Lakers is totally different than anything LeBron would do. Even though he has a statue outside of it, in front of Miami, it's just right now they both 0-2 when it comes to their kids transitioning to the league. That's really what it boils down to, right?
Transition.
And yeah,
my bad. Okay, go ahead.
right now, sir. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You can be prosecuted,
right.
and any doctor will be sued. And so,
Man.
I mean, knowing that Mel said something like, "We're not talking about that son, we're talking about this son." Well, it's no longer. Next slide.
Anyway, right.
Next slide.
But go ahead.
But no, yeah. Well, one of them is really trying to get it out of the mud, and the other one is, they got a plan. Him and his dad got a plan, and it doesn't matter how bad he plays. There's always somebody that's worse than Bronny in the league, and I think that person for everybody that's watching is Ben Simmons. And so, as long as there's a Ben Simmons in the league, there's hope for a Bronny and a Zaire. I think that's his name.
Yes, Zaire Wade.
Yeah. So, tomatoes, man.
I don't know.
Tomatoes.
Man Down Mel says that feeling you get as a young man when you finally earn something or get something on your own is unmatched. Wade is setting up his son for the greatest satisfaction. Absolutely. And, like I made the analogy with my first car that I bought, my first new car, it's also my first, the home that we live in. A lot of people from other demographics are blessed enough that maybe, their parents can give them the money for a down payment on a home, or some people, their parents can actually give them a home, right? Me and my wife, we worked hard. We both veterans. We bought this house, and every time you come home, you're like, yeah, this is mine. We earned that. Like, it feels different than if somebody had handed it to us. So I just I don't. It's amazing to me how people can attack you for what we generally see as very simple things, right? For instance, your kid wants something. You make them work for the money to get it, right? You don't just buy it for him, right? Say, okay, you do these chores, you cut the lawn, you shovel the snow, whatever it may be, rake the leaves, whatever, wash the car, right? Every time you do something, I give you $10, I give you $20, I give you $5, right? They work, they earn that money, they save it up, they go buy it, what the new pair of Jordans or the new video game or whatever it may be, right? Don't they come in feeling proud about the fact that they earned the money to get whatever it was that they wanted? It's a different feeling, and I'm totally lost as to why this seems to be so.
The safety net for both of these two spoiled brats. They have generational wealth that's going to supersede their kids and the kids that come after them, right? Like, so we measuring these kids based off of how well they look at an occupation that will make them a couple dollars, but at the end of the day, they'll never see the street. They'll never have to hustle and suffer the way you had to suffer. So it's it's kind of water under the bridge. Like, Wade is trying to put the spotlight on himself. Oh yeah, beat my chest. See what I did with this son, right? Like, maybe maybe this is a way of redeeming himself, because he definitely lost some shit with the other kid. But that's no here nor there. But neither one of these kids, we'll never measure them by, they won't see, either one of these kids won't see Hall of Fame. They won't see Hall of Fame. Either one.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, they won't. And so We talking about the plumbers of the family, right? Like that's
Right.
pretty much what we assessing here. Like, oh yeah, I made you do something that I really didn't need you to do just so you can feel how it feel to go through a struggle that you'll never have to worry about struggling because as long as I got money, you got money. But I saw Shaq do the same thing where he said, if you kids want my inheritance, you have to have 2 college degrees, right?
Yeah.
That's respectable because now you're not, that doesn't mean that these kids won't be like the best children in the world. Like they don't stop them from being like the worst person in the world. It's just like you putting a emphasis on education versus like anybody else. Like go ahead.
No, I was about to ask you. So I love that you brought that up. What's the difference there? He's making them earn it, right? What's the difference?
I think it's more respectable when you look at like education over like basketball. Like basketball, your education is with you forever. Like you play basketball, your knees gonna go at 40, 45. Like that's really
Yo, Steve, chill.
Hey,
Steve, I hit that button by accident, man. I was not gonna put that on.
Nah, man, I'm on probation. I'm on probation already. YouTube already sent me an email said they're gonna snatch my rights if I keep it up. So I'm trying to keep it cordial here, man. Maybe next week, but
Right.
I can't have two on the real like that. Maybe next week. But no, man, like I would respect both of them more if the emphasis was on education versus just bouncing a basketball. These they won't really have to work, man. It's cool to say, oh yeah, you went through the ringer just to be, a G-League player. Playing overseas, cool. You doing it. LeBron could do that. Like he can do the same shit as Zaire doing. Like, but I think he's trying to force him into the league.
He would have to, right? Exactly. Go ahead.
But he know. I mean, just like Wade know his son ain't that nice. Like they both know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they both know. Like it's just not rocket science.
Yeah. And
they're using their platform. They're using their platform to push their kid up.
But the only difference I would say, and the reason I played that whole D Wade thing is because if he wanted to, he could have had his son in the league. Again, he's partial owner of a team. That's enough clout to get his son on the bench if he wanted to. That's the thing that I'm kind of. He could though. He could.
I don't think he could take another L, bro. I don't think he could take another L.
Oh wow.
I don't think he can take another L, bro. Like honestly,
man.
I don't think he can take another
L. Sid Bubba, what do you mean we also have to hold kids accountable? I'm not sure what you mean by that in reference to this this discussion. Throw that in the chat, man. I definitely like to hear what you guys say about that. But yeah, we're coming to the end of this topic. I thought it was pretty interesting, and it really for a couple of reasons. Like I said, one, we know that Bronny is not nice. We know that. And two, it's so interesting to me, the dichotomy between D Wade and LeBron James in terms of one saying, son, go earn it. You'll appreciate it more and it'll make you a better player. And the other one saying, nah, I'm going to just give it to you so that I can push my narrative. You know what I'm saying?
They say the other son was nicer, though.
Oh, Bryce James?
Nah, not Bryce. The Wade other son. Say he was the one.
I don't know. I have no idea, man. I couldn't even tell you.
So he was nice.
But yeah, so Transformer says that shows you two types of different fathers, which are both fair in their own right. I mean, yeah, you can say that, but as you know, I thoroughly disagree with LeBron's move and the way he went about this, and it has nothing to do with him being LeBron or me, quote unquote, hating on Bron or hating whatever. I mean, that's just lazy thinking. But I just totally disagree with the premise in general of just handing kids stuff because they appreciate it more.
So if you had to choose between LeBron or Wade, which dad kind of aligns with who you are as a parent?
No comment. That was good. That was good. You set me up. No, neither. Neither. Are we talking very specifically through the narrow lens
I
of this
just asked the
topic?
question, bro. I just asked the question. That's all. I just want to know.
Neither, G. I can't do it. I'm with Steve. There you go. I'm with Steve. Neither. But in regards to this specific topic, I prefer the way Wade handled it. I did. Because I think when it happens for Zaire and when he finally makes it up, he's gonna appreciate it more. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and you ready to see what we got on these calls, man?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's take a couple calls. All right, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. We're going to take a couple of calls, maybe 2 or 3, if we get 2 or 3, and then we are going to move it to the final topic and then get out of here. Might get out of here before 3 hours tonight, G. What you think, man? Oh, man. Bronny ain't played me in a minute, but he's always trending. I never seen anything like this. Nino, you know why, though. You know why that is. Come on, man. Sid Bubba, what's good, bro? How are you?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. I'm blessed, brothers. Yeah. I guess to my comment in the chat.
Yes, sir.
Zaire's a grown man. Bronny's a grown man. When, my parents and them didn't want me to go to the military, but I made my mind up to go anyway.
Okay.
We got to hold our kids accountable.
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yes, sir.
So, and I think both are good. And I had another comment.
Yeah.
Some of our kids are going to be wolves, and some of them are going to be sheep.
I like that. I liked when you put that in the chat. That was good.
Right. Yeah, because, let's just say Bryce, LeBron's younger boy. He ain't getting all that, but he going to probably be a little bit more hungry and work for it. And he got size.
I can see it.
Sometimes we don't always clash, but we got to hold our kids accountable. And G made up a great point in that they billionaires. So it ain't like, he had to go to the league or he just had to do it. Bronny's making between 5 and 8 million, and he ain't even playing for the Lakers on NIL deals. So it really wasn't about the money per se, if that's what he wanted to do. But, LeBron can't play for him.
No, he can't. But I think
he can't do it.
He set him up to be a target, and he set him up for failure for his own ego. That's part of my problem with this whole thing.
Okay, yeah. But it's also up to Bronny. He didn't have to go.
So, Sid Bubba, let me ask you this, Sid. I understand what you're saying, and to an extent, that's true, right? But remember how I started this whole topic when I was saying that LeBron announced this like 5 or 6 years ago that it was his dream to play with his son, right? So he was putting that in motion since back then, right? LeBron doesn't. One thing I can say about this dude, he doesn't just say things to say them, right? You always see him when he says something, he's moving to make it come to fruition down the line, right? He puts things in motion. And so you don't think, because it's not like he said it one time and that was it. We heard about it through Bronny's entire high school career, and then we heard about it through his first year in college. So you don't think that there was some conditioning that took place and that Bronny didn't feel some level of internal pressure to make this move? You really don't think so? I think so. I don't know, but I believe so.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But I think it was one of the interviews that they had, and they were asking Bronny, what is it? I want to go to the league, but I don't necessarily want to play for my dad.
That's right.
So I do think it was his dream to do so. Now,
excuse me.
Now, I do believe that, but if it was me, I would make my own choice if I was Bronny. That's just me. Because, I went in the military too. My mom then would have offered to pay, but I did it my own way, and I was glad that I did.
Right.
Same thing with my son. Now, they didn't have to go, because of my service. They were able to go to college for free.
Right.
Me being a disabled vet.
Yes.
But I told them, hey, you got to get out and get it. I'm like,
That's right.
on that, Bruce. Even though I could pay, but why I'm gonna pay? You need to learn to
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
Dad kicking about the house.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they gotta learn to get it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long term, they'll appreciate it more.
Yes, exactly. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
But Bronny seemed like
I still think LeBron put his son in a better position financially than Wade did.
Right.
I mean, I still think he did that. Maybe that's the wrong way of looking at things, but his son got an $8 million contract, guaranteed money, and he a fucking bum, right? I mean, he a bum, bro. Like, so.
Right.
Yeah, you get it through the fire, or you hit the lottery, and Bronny hit the lottery.
Right.
But
bro, you made up a great point. I think LeBron has made a chess move for his son. Even if Bronny failed at basketball, and he's just going to social media influence, LeBron put him in that position to get that money to make an investment. And then he can run empire. Even if he failed, LeBron kind of hedged his bet with his kids. That's a good point, G.
Yeah, no doubt. You got anything else for me, Sid?
No, that's about it. Shout out to my boy Nino and Speed Splendor.
No doubt, man. Thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate you as always, Sid.
All
right, brother. Nino, that was actually an interesting point. Let me throw it back up here. Someone that can relate, Bron growing up without a father is a big component. But see, you say that, but guess what? D Wade grew up without a father too, I believe. So, like, yeah, I'm like, is that the same thing? But let's think about that. All right, here's Transformer. Let's take this. Transformer, what's good, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Man, you're supposed to be doing work, man. What's going on, man? How you calling the show, man?
I am currently mopping my floor.
All right.
Talking to you at the exact same time. Hey, brother.
All right.
2 birds, 1 stone. Okay. But I am listening. I am enjoying the show so far. I love you guys. How you guys are doing? I'm loving all the takes. I'm loving the stances, and I'm even loving this topic. Right? I mean, Bronny isn't playing good. Bronny is. I don't think, at least I'm going to say I didn't expect him to be good no time soon.
Right.
You were drafted at 55 for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You should have went undrafted in my eyes and in most eyes of the general public, right? But, you have that father that's there that implies that mentality, that strength, that AKA flex, that, hey, shit, I'm going to get my son in no matter what he plays like, no matter what he looks like, right? So I say it all to say, I was listening to, first of all, you put G on blast, right? I find that completely unfair, right? G was not expecting you to replay something that he said months ago, all right? So for G, I apologize on behalf of Bruce Hope and that blasphemous that he just really blasted you about, right?
Hey, I'm okay. He take after Wade. He take after Dwayne Wade from a dad perspective, so I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it, man.
Hey, man,
we gotta check on Ben though, bro.
Hey, veterans have multiple sources of counseling and therapy and treatment and stuff like that, man. So if you feel any type of way, dial those numbers, man. I'll send it to you in the chat. Because Bruce, you out of line, you out of pocket for what you just did to my boy on live television, right?
Oh, man.
Anyway,
I'm kind of petty that way.
Back to what we're talking about. I mean, I heard what Dwayne Wade said, and I heard what Zaire said.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I see and I hear 2 different fathers, 2 different types of fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that one is right, not saying that one is wrong. I feel like they're both right and wrong in their own regards as being fathers, right? I look at LeBron's trajectory of life, right? Single mother, Rosen didn't have a father, literally had to hire an old friend as a now bodyguard who used to stick up for him growing up. Go back and look it up. He pays a guy like $10 million a year to like be his bodyguard.
Okay.
Who used to, like pretty much beat up bullies for Bron, right?
Okay.
So I look at it like he grew up.
Can I interrupt you real quick? Can I interrupt you real quick?
Damn, I just got started. Go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say that that's real cool, LeBron, knowing that guy helped him to get where he is, to go back and look out for him and take care of him.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Go back and look at the story. It's actually a dope story. I think when Bron got drafted after like a couple of years, or like 5-6 years, once he got the next deal after his rookie contract, he got this big deal, and I guess he found out that this now security guard, he was in massive debt, couldn't get a job, just couldn't get things going for him in life.
Okay.
And Bron reached out to him and said, "Bro, you took care of me.
That's right.
And looked out for me all those years while I was younger. I'm gonna take care of you now." I felt like that was dope, bro.
That is dope. Nah,
not even being Bron as a man. That's just dope. That's just dope,
it is.
Right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Who the hell was bullying LeBron? He was a 6'8", 14-year-old, bro. Like 200 pounds. Woo. Hulk Hogan fucking bullying LeBron.
Hey, maybe somebody threatened to kick him in his knee, ruin that career.
Real shit, bro. You running the cats like me, I don't care how tall you are.
Facts.
I don't care how big you are.
Facts.
Bro. You're gonna get worse.
Yeah, that says a lot about his heart then.
Either you like that or you not like that, right? We're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So I think that's a different spectrum. But more to my point, you see how, you know what I'm saying, LeBron pretty much didn't have that roughneck syndrome coming up even until he got in the league. Like the league kind of, like, in a sense, babied him before he even played an NBA game, right? All over the net, all over Sports Illustrated. If you don't know what Sports Illustrated, you're too young enough to watch the channel.
Right.
But Sports Illustrated labeling him the chosen one before he even played an NBA game. He was labeled the chosen one. So pretty much in a sense, they tried to hand him the lead, right? You know what I'm saying? Putting him on that pedestal. I look at Dwayne Wade, grew up in Chicago, Chi-Town, Chirac, Roughneck area, right? You know what I mean? Went to Marquette, out there in Wisconsin, right? Had to work his way up in college. You know what I'm saying? He come straight out of high school.
Played all 4 years.
Had to work his way up and had to play all 4 years in college. Got drafted fourth?
Sixth?
He was drafted
fifth or sixth, I believe. I thought somewhere in there, fifth or sixth,
right? You know what I mean? You got Darko Milicic, or Mitch. How do you say that nigga's name? I mean, brother's name.
Yeah, Milicic.
Get drafted before him. Of course, Bron and Carmelo went before him, right? So he's like, dude, so now I got to prove myself again. So again, he had to instill that hard work. I got to go get it. You know what I mean? That I got to go get it mentality. Bron had it. They gave it to him. Like, hey, bro, you're the number one pick coming out of high school. We're giving you such and such dollars. You're getting commercials. You're getting all of this, right? So pretty much in a sense, Bron has always been, I would say,
that makes a lot of sense. That's,
you know what I'm saying.
That makes a lot of sense. He didn't have to scrape and that's a great point.
He never had to claw, right? Bron never had to claw. If he wanted something,
you're right.
He was going to find a way to manipulate whatever he needed to do to go and get it. Go and get it. You look at Wade. Wade stuck it out in Miami. They traded Shaq from the Los Angeles Lakers back in 05, 06. He went to go win a championship. Wade was finally on the map, right? Finally got that mantle. He had to work and grind to get to that mantle. Brian went to go get it his own separate way. You know what I mean? Given the mantle coming out of high school, given the mantle, they gave him Rookie of the Year when he didn't even earn it. They gave him Rookie of the Year just based off his name. Carmelo, in my eyes, won that Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he did?
Right?
That's a fact.
Better record, better play, all of that.
Went to the playoffs. Was he Rookie of the Month, 4 or 5 times that year?
3 or 4 times. Yeah, I think it was 4. I want to say it was 4. Right? So he did all that. So Bron essentially got babied all the way up, and even till now, bro, he gets what he wants. Wade had to go and get it, bro. So I think now you see that, like, you look into that retrospect, now you see how Wade treats his son. And he's looking at his son like, bro, I had to freaking go get it, bro.
Right.
You finna go get it. I'm not finna just hand this to you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's one way of being a father. Bron's way is like, hey, bro, look, hey, it was given to me. I shall give to my son. Son, what do you want to do? Hey, let's do this. Let's set you up financially. Because even if this doesn't work out, bro, Bronny is getting paid no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Bron is setting that up for him. He's like, no, bro, I'm gonna set you up.
So let me ask you this. And those are great points. I hadn't thought about it that way, so I appreciate you sharing that with us. That's really good.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, but here go the flip side, right? Even if it's not basketball, right? You don't think that LeBron could have gotten Bronny into darn near any high level company in this country? You know what I'm saying? He could have gotten him in damn near anywhere where he still could have made a rack of bread.
Big of a deal as the NBA.
Well, no, but see, that's why I keep saying that it's not about Bronny. It wasn't about LeBron wanting to do something for Bronny. It was about LeBron wanting the attention of this whole thing. That's why I say this whole thing is one big joke, right? That's why I put that on the thumbnail. This whole thing is one big joke. It's one big publicity stunt. It's a whole PR move. That's what this thing is. LeBron saw that from way back. That's why I said from jump, this is not about Bronny. We heard Stephen A say it. This is not about Bronny. We heard K Perk say it. This is not about Bronny. Everybody knows that, man. I didn't cut the Mad Dog Russo clip, but he said it too. Everybody knows it. This is not hard. It's not about Bronny.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Bronny
Because
cashing that
either
$8
way,
million check,
right?
though. And
Yeah,
Wade's
sure
son
is.
is not.
Exactly. He's putting his kid in no matter what he does in a chance of success. Because guess what? He could have sent Bronny to any other industry out here in the world, but would it be as public and as broad as him being in the NBA playing with who some people consider the greatest player they've ever seen?
Right.
Is it going to be that big, right?
No.
Now, Bronny wants to be an influencer, right? How much bigger is your influence now that, hey, I am in the league, NBA all-time, national media, Laker Nation, all of that under my belt. Now, if I want to transition, say, for instance, he doesn't make it in NBA, you know what I'm saying? Time will tell. He got years on his side, right? Time will tell. He goes into this next stage of life. Bronny is set.
Mm-hmm.
Bronny is set. Bronny can go do whatever he wants to do now, right? So, I mean, I get it. This is more of a Bron move than a Bronny move.
That's what I've been saying from the beginning. That's my whole thing.
I mean, in this whole Bronny's he doesn't have to travel with the team. I call that the Giannis move. That's a Giannis type of move, right? Or Giannis, however you want to how you pronounce the name. Thanasis, there you go.
But it's not the same thing,
type of move. But in a sense, it's the same type because Giannis don't want to play if his brother isn't there.
So
right? He's like, my brother got to come. Bron is doing the same thing. Nah, bump that. My son is going to come.
So let me say this real quick. The Giannis Thanasis thing, right? That's a little different in terms of first, Giannis came into the league, and obviously none of us knew what Giannis was going to end up becoming, right? It was like after his first or second year that Thanasis got drafted, and he didn't get drafted by the Bucks, and Giannis had no influence. He got drafted by the Knicks, right? Now, did he help?
Keep him on a roster? Yes.
Yes, he absolutely has helped to keep him on the roster.
That's
no
the
question.
only thing I'm trying to. That's the thing I'm trying to relate to.
Right, no doubt. But
I'm gonna just say T.
Right.
He has a job.
Yes.
He's on a roster because of his brother. That is legit, right? He's traveling with the team. Literally, his own teammates are telling the public, "Yo, if Giannis looks to that sideline and his brother's not there, Giannis is mad. He's upset. He's not going to play like he wants to play, right?" So Genie and all them folks be like, "Okay, Bron is going to do that same thing." Well, guess what? I don't have to. I could retire. He could act that diva, pull that diva role, the Aaron Rodgers role, of what we're accustomed to seeing over there in New York. You know what I mean? I could just pull that like, "Hey, yo, I'm not going to play my hardest if my son isn't there. I want to show my son what it's like to be the man. I want to show my son what it's like to be on the road. I want to show my son and be able to spend that time and do all this." Because, I mean, granted, fair is fair. The man has been playing in NBA all of Bronny's life. So he has missed abundance of time, pretty much all of that man's life, dealing with his son. So now he gets to take his son on the road. You know what I'm saying? Show him the ropes and stuff like that. So, I mean, you got to be fair in that retrospect as well. Yes, it's still for Bron. not about Bronny, but it's still for Bron. Spending that time, regathering that time, showing them the ropes. Hey, this is what the road trips are like. This is what this is like. But still, like, I got my son with me. Now I really got to show out, right? I really got to show out and go on this road. You know what I mean? Be on my best behavior and show him the rope. So I get that point too. Like I said, bro, it's two sides to every coin flip, right? You got heads and tails. I'm not going to tell you neither one is wrong. Wade has his way of the way he brought up his son, the roughneck, go get it, Chicago mentality, hard roughneck mentality. Bron grew up in Akron, Ohio, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody's ever been to Akron or Ohio, period, but it ain't nothing like no Chicago.
Right.
Chicago,
Right. Nah.
So, you know what I mean? I think that's where we also have to look at that, not trying to change anybody's opinion in the chat and that like that, but we also have to look at that too. Right, we have to look at that. We're talking about two different types of fathers, two different types of upbringing, which is influencing how they're upbringing their son. Gee, I'm not even going to talk about what you want to talk about. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy work, right? Hey, what he's doing with his other son, that's on him, or whatever you want to call said person. But you know what I mean? When it comes to Zaire, and Zaire wanting to be at a level where his father was at, well, he's going to get it the Dwayne Wade way. Bronny is just going to get it the Bron way. Everything was given to me before I got here, so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to hand it down just like it was handed to me. So that's what I had to say.
Damn, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was some good information, definitely.
No, man, y'all good.
Yeah, I still disagree with LeBron's way of going about it, but you know,
no,
that's his way of going about it.
That's
you
fair,
know,
bro. That's fair. Like I said, you got two different types of fatherhood. You're more on the side of Wade. You're gonna have people like me, even in our sense, right? I got a GI bill, right?
Me too.
I can hit. You got a GI bill.
Well, I used it, but
I can just hand my GI bill to my kids.
Right.
Or I can be like, nah, I need a 4.0 GPA for you to be able to touch the GI Bill money to go to college. You know what I mean? I could be two different types of ways. Neither one of them are wrong. Neither one of them are wrong. I could either be a rough father or I can just be hey, it was given to me due to my service. So guess what? I want it to be given to you, no matter what the circumstance is. Baby girl, here you go.
Well, I'll just say,
boy, here you go.
I'll just say, I see education, like G was saying earlier, as a little different thing, right? I feel like it's
G said that earlier?
I think it's our responsibility as parents if we are at all able to provide education to our children. So, like, I see that a little differently as I'm giving you something else that you can earn, right? Education allows you to earn other things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if we're able to do it, then I don't have any issue with handing. Like my daughter, she's going to FAMU now on my on the VA chapter 35 because I'm a disabled veteran. So I have no problem with that. Yeah, right. I'll tell you gave her a shout. But yeah, I don't have any problem with that. You know, that's education. That's not me just handing her something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not really that's not my
But
stick.
in a sense, how you see it as this just education. Shit, Ron probably like it's just the NBA, bro. It's just another business.
I guess.
It's just another business.
I guess.
You know what I mean? So, I'm not in his head. I'm not in his brain. That's just how I look at it. You feel me?
Yeah, Steve, you wild, man. Chill.
I can't even see what he's saying. I'm still mopping my floor.
Yeah, Steve is. You know how Steve get down, man. You know how Splendid gets down.
I'm pretty sure he probably made some type of funny pun for a name or something like that. I'm curious of what it's gonna say when I look at it.
Yeah, Steve is funny. But man, you got anything else?
Man, y'all go ahead, man. Yeah, no, y'all got it, man. I'm enjoying the show, enjoying the topics, man. Y'all keep it up. I'm gonna stay tuned.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling, man.
Always.
All right, no doubt. All right, let's go ahead, G. Do you have anything else you wanted to add, and then we'll go ahead and take it to the next topic.
Yeah, man, it is. It's a federal offense.
Okay, good.
And the doctor can get sued.
Hey, well, there you
go.
go.
That like day one. Well, that's part of his day one package.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, though, you had anything else you wanted to add on this topic, and then we'll go ahead and switch to the last topic.
Nah, this is definitely a good one. This is definitely. I'm glad I picked it.
My man, Appreciate
I had
you.
no idea you was going to be petty today, though. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Man, you know me almost 2 decades, man.
Yeah, you was hot about that shit though. It took you like 2 weeks to get over that shit. I figured you was gonna bring it back up. I said,
Oh man.
that's a slow moment, but
All right, man. Let's go ahead and we'll take it to the final topic. Back to the NFL we go, and we're going to talk about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is an interesting guy, and he was the number 1 pick in this past NFL draft, right? And right, Transformer, you're 100% right, man. No, Caleb Williams was the number 1 overall pick in the last NFL draft, quarterback out of USC, won a Heisman Trophy there, and he was regarded as the best prospect to come out since Andrew Luck, which is funny because they said that about Trevor Lawrence. But anyway, and both of them early in their careers haven't shown too much. But obviously, Trevor Lawrence, he's in year 4, and Caleb Williams is in halfway through year 1, a little past halfway. So Caleb Williams is struggling. But a big part of that is the Bears organization, right? They have defensive head coach Matt Eberflus, who is not doing much to help in terms of developing Caleb as a quarterback. They clearly made the wrong hire at offensive coordinator. They fired the guy they had last year, Luke Getsy, who was working with Justin Fields, and that didn't work out. So then they did a number of interviews, and they ended up hiring Shane Waldron, former OC for the Seattle Seahawks. That didn't work out. He was just fired 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens is this, right? Caleb Williams is supposed to be the guy. Everybody was so hyped and so excited. They were highly rating him. And I only heard one person in the scouting community in the NFL who openly said that they didn't believe in Caleb Williams. That's former NFL scout Daniel Kelly, who's been on this show. He was on the show like last year prior to the draft. And he said that, I think he said he had a 4th round grade on Caleb Williams, and he thought he was going to be a bust for a number of reasons. One of them being that he holds the ball too long, and he doesn't process well downfield. He has issues with ball placement, and a lot of people were like, "What? That's crazy." And to this point, that's exactly what you're seeing, even though the Chicago Bears have tried to put talent around him. They drafted the wide receiver that he wanted, the guy who I thought was the number 1 receiver coming out of the draft, Rome Odunze from Washington, who I believe is an absolute stud. We'll see if he can continue to develop and become better than he's been so far. So I think part of that is coaching and scheme. But yeah, Caleb Williams is, he's having some problems. For instance, last week, the Bears played against, so this is some B-roll. But last week, the Bears played against the New England Patriots, who are one of the worst teams in the league. Caleb Williams was sacked 9 times, right? And if you actually go back and look at the footage of Caleb Williams being sacked 9 times, some of that was just the pressure coming unblocked, but some of that was also Caleb Williams just holding the ball too long, which he has a tendency to do, right? That was one of the major knocks on him coming out of college. They say that he doesn't play well in structure, and that he is always he's got happy feet in the pocket. He's always looking to get out and make the hero play. Now, he has a great ability, which is escapability, but that same escapability does not look nearly the same in the NFL as it did in the collegiate ranks. Obviously, NFL defenders are much, much faster and bigger. So, so Shane Waldron, the OC, he got fired the other day, which I really don't understand Matt Nagy firing the offensive coordinator, because Matt Nagy could win every game for the rest of the year, and he's still going to be gone after this season. So I get that he was, working self-preservation and trying to save his own job. But, I mean, for what? You're going to be gone. But anyway, Caleb Williams, I believe, is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this year. So he's really struggling. So before I get to some commentary from the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington and their producer, Rob Guerra, I wanted to know, what were your thoughts on Caleb Williams and what you've seen so far, G? I know he's a DMV guy, so you probably want to rep for him. But what are some of your thoughts of Caleb Williams and his early struggles in the NFL?
I mean, the Bears haven't been good in so long, right? We saw what they did with Justin Fields. and getting him out of there to bring Caleb in was supposed to have been like new fresh start. Put a lot of talent around him, and the Bears still look like the Bears.
They do.
So it's not much. It's not much to pick from this one. Kind of knew what we was getting into when we watched him at USC. We saw him have meltdowns.
That's right.
We seen him play real streaky, but then he has a tendency to melt down, and I think this is what we're seeing just on the professional level. This is him melting down and not being able to change. If you're getting sacked, 5 times, 9 times,
Yeah.
9 times. Well,
that's right.
Maybe we need to throw the ball a little quicker.
I agree.
So some of that could be on the offensive coordinator. Some of it could be on his decision making process or however he carry it. But I don't really have too much for Caleb, man. Like I wasn't really a big fan. I think they would have did better with a second year Justin Field with the support that they put around Caleb.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's how I look at that. I think the Bears the organization just shouldn't have bid again.
That's right. Steve, it's so funny that you say that, bro. No, Steve, you're 100% right. And a lot of people don't acknowledge that, but it's funny. I know you remember 2 years ago when Notre Dame went out to USC in the season finale, and Caleb just was making the entire Notre Dame defense look foolish and literally won a Heisman Trophy off of that incredible performance. Then last year in the midseason game, Caleb and USC came to South Bend to play against Notre Dame. Notre Dame picked him off 3 times, I think, including a pick 6, sacked him 4 or 5 times, really punished him. And since then, he has never been the same. Steve is 100% right. He finished the rest of his college season horribly, really getting punished. And that was when, after one of the games, you saw him jump into the stands and cry in his mother's arms. Now, we've heard, I've mentioned it before, we've heard the stories of all-time great players in different sports crying and being so desolate at losing because winning meant so much to these guys. But this was kind of different, right? We know Caleb is a guy that's kind of different in the ultimate masculine sport of football, the ultimate supposedly alpha male testosterone fueled sport. Caleb Williams is a guy that walks around with a bright pink cell phone cover. He has his nails painted. And so it's kind of, he doesn't seem to be a guy that really radiates that masculine energy in terms of leadership as the most important position in sports, right? So it's kind of weird. But yeah, Notre Dame beat the brakes off of Caleb Williams and USC in that game last year, and Caleb has not been the same in terms of his ability and his greatness since, right? That basically ruined his opportunity to repeat as Heisman Trophy winner. And since then, we haven't seen anything. Now, listen, a lot of all-time greats have had difficulties in their rookie years in the NFL, right? Peyton Manning only won 13 games, set the rookie record for interceptions. I think he had 28 interceptions as a rookie. Now, that was a little different because back then you could hit quarterbacks, you could hit receivers, et cetera. So a little different, but still, he set the record for interceptions as a rookie. John Elway got benched as a rookie. Terry Bradshaw benched as a rookie. Troy Aikman won 1 game and was benched as a rookie. And all these guys are Hall of Famers, right? So nobody's saying that Caleb Williams is going to be a bum or doesn't have the ability with proper coaching and proper team construction to be a very good, if not special NFL player. Nobody's doubting that. But it is problematic where he is right now in terms of his position as in the hierarchy as an NFL quarterback. So let's go ahead and we're going to play a few clips from The Odd Couple, and then we'll get back and talk about it. So I'm going to play one. We're going to come back and talk about it, and then I'll play the other one.
Yeah, so you know the world famous show Waddle and Sylvie, ESPN Chicago. They've been around forever. 2 of the most respected members of the media in that area. So Sylvie put out a tweet about an hour after the news broke that Shane Waldron was being fired as the offensive coordinator. And in it, he said 2 things. One, that several Bears players went to Eberflus and GM Ryan Poles and said, hey, it's not working with Waldron. We got to move on, replace him, maybe not fire him, do whatever you got to do. He's not doing a good job with the offense. But then he added there at the end of his tweet, also, several Bears veterans believe that Tyson Bagent should be starting at quarterback over Caleb Williams.
So Tyson Bagent. So think about this. This is the guy, Caleb Williams, who's supposed to be the most highly touted quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. And you're talking about Tyler Bagent. These are veterans on his team saying Tyler Bagent should be starting over him. That's not good. Gee, what are your thoughts so far on what we've what we just heard regarding Caleb and the Bears?
Yeah, I heard. I actually read the article that was talking about the Bears players going and asking them to bench Caleb and put in some other guy I never heard of. Nobody likes to lose, bro. Like, especially when you believe you should be winning. But it's Caleb, bro. Like, we all knew this was gonna happen. Like, everybody knew this was happening. I mean, maybe not everyone, right? Because the Bears organization thought that they was making a power move. And at the end, it's just, it's just pretty bad, man. Like, it's Bears football.
Yup. Hey,
Bears
you want to know
football.
something interesting, G? Tyson Bagent, the backup quarterback that many of those veterans lobbied for, is alumnus of Shepherd University in West Virginia.
I heard about that kid. You
2018.
know what? I heard about him. They
Yeah, I
said
think he
was
set
real
all
deal.
types of D3 records, D3 passing records.
Yeah. I thought he was with the Rams. I thought he went to the Rams. I didn't know he was with the Bears.
Yeah, I know he was there. I know he was with the Bears last year. I don't know. Let's see. Yep, no, he's been with the Bears. He got drafted last year. So
Last year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he won a national championship with them.
There you go. So Shepherd College, University. But yeah, so this whole thing, you're seeing that clearly shows that you're having difficulty in terms of being the quarterback and connecting with the guys in that locker room. If you've got veterans saying, hey, bench this guy and put the other guy in. At least that's how I see it. Now we could also look at it as veterans are saying, like, I don't know how much time left I have in the league, so I need somebody better to come in and play to try and maybe extend this for me, or so that's one thing.
Sometimes they like what who was it that said that? I think it was oh man, McKnight, Indiana coach, basketball coach.
Oh, Bobby Knight, the general.
Bobby Knight. He said, "There's nothing like benching a player." He said that shit make them play harder. Like, if you have an underperforming player, you sit his ass on the bench.
Get him in gear.
Get him in gear. So, I mean, is it a bad thing? We about to see with the Colts, right? Because they benched their quarterback. If he come out and ball out, they bench Flacco. They did.
They bench Flacco to bring the other kid back. So we'll see. We'll see what Anthony Richardson ends up doing. But that's a good point. I really didn't like it because to me that signals that's like football, man. It's like it's an not an adrenaline thing. It's an alpha thing. It's a testosterone thing. It's a real thing. And I think when you do that, if he's not hurt, man, to me that's cowardly. And if you're Caleb and you cool with that, that means you're a coward too. I don't have a whole lot of respect for that. Go out there and compete. Even if you suck and continue to learn like Peyton Manning and those other guys did, and then you come back next year and you're better. But this is not all on Caleb either. Like we talked about it, he clearly had, he's had lousy coaching, the former OC, who apparently it was said that the players from Seattle, when he would coach there before, said he's not that good. Other players, I just got a text from one of my guys with an article saying that players on this Bears team were saying he's too nice of a guy, and they were talking about the offensive struggles. So here's the thing, right? If we know that Caleb holds the ball too long, why wouldn't you get a guy that brings in like more of a West Coast system so he can get the ball out of his hands quicker? Right? It identifies the reads faster and allows him to get rid of the ball quicker, gets him in a rhythm as a passer, and then all those short completions help to build his confidence so that when it's time to go over the top, he can do that. I mean, that's my thought. I don't understand why you would. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Till it doesn't.
There you go.
It might be him though. It just could be him, man. Like
it could be.
I haven't watched enough Bears games. I don't think they are worth the watch, honestly. But
yeah, I think it's too early to know, and I think he's too talented. He's got too much physical talent, so we'll see what he does or does not end up being. But he definitely needs, in my estimation, like better coaching, right? Because we know in the modern NFL, if you get the right coaching, and we've seen it all the time, guys change schemes, and all of a sudden they turn into world beaters. Like nobody thinks Trent Green was any good, but he was killing when he was playing in that. He was in that same scheme that the Rams used with Dick Vermeil, right? When Dick Vermeil left the Rams and went to the Chiefs, Trent Green started killing. Same thing with Priest Holmes when he left Baltimore and went to the Chiefs, right? Sometimes the scheme is all you need to make the difference. So we got to see what Caleb Williams gets. And I also think, in fairness, that the Bears organization was paralyzed with fear over the possibility of missing out on Caleb Williams, watching him go somewhere and get busy, because they've missed out on other elite quarterbacks in the past as well. I think they missed out on CJ Stroud as well. So, I mean, they've missed out on some really good guys, and it's like, damn. But they need a lot. They need a lot. Definitely transformer. Need a coach, need a line, need a vet to get that locker room together. Yep, I'm with you. They need all that. So, hopefully they can figure out a way to make those things happen, and then we'll see. But here's some more commentary from the Odd Couple, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. But this was good. I enjoyed this. Check it out.
When you start to look at some of his numbers now, it starts to resemble that this is what he believes. He's 32nd in completion percentage, 55.5%. Yards per attempt are this low. He's at 4.9. He's sacked 18 times, including 9 just this past previous game. He's tied for 31st in passing touchdowns with 0, Rob. And 30th in total QBR at 21.2 during this losing streak specifically that he's been on, this losing streak. All these numbers are for that. So you look at him holding the ball. You look at him all of a sudden holding the ball too much in college. And this is what they're saying he does. He tries to, and you can get away with this in college because you're just better than everybody. And those separations are much larger between your receiver and the defensive backs in college because you're SC and you're playing some schools that aren't that great with a bunch of guys who are going to often become sales insurance agents. Not in the NFL with pros who are good. The second half of this is you remember hearing little weird things about like he maybe not get along with the guys. He's kind of a different guy. He's a little bit aloof, and he's kind of a different cat when it comes to leadership ability. And to me, that might scream loud too when you have veterans with a talented young player who are already kind of ready to give up. Sometimes talent just ain't it, where they'll go, all right, look, he's struggling right now. We're not winning, but you know what? We like to do. We believe in his leadership. He'll be all right eventually. When you start getting guys ready to do this already, Rob, we're what, a little over halfway through the season? To me, that screams that there's something more than just getting sacked. There's something more than offense not scoring. To me, this might also scream something to leadership, something to locker room issues.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I think this is what teams do. They panic. This is the third number 1 overall pick that's had a coaching change in their first year. This happens often because there's an adjustment that has to be made. And you can't listen to just players, a handful of players in the locker room, because it's not a popularity contest. That's why you have a GM. That's why you have a coach. That's why you have other people. It just can't be because you like somebody or we all work with people that we don't all like or feel like we have a connection or a vibe with, but it doesn't mean that they can't do their job. And I think this is where people get caught up in it. We talk about it all the time. It's not just about feelings and whether or not he's cool or I want to hang out with him or he talks to me or whatever it is. People are all different. And if you're winning, none of that ever comes up. Nobody would ever talk about those things because it's only when you lose that you could try to find a rhyme or reason why. And I think that's what you have to be careful of, because losing brings out where people are ready to throw the blame on somebody or try to figure out it's because he painted his nails in college. It's because, like all these other reasons other than maybe A, he's a rookie learning how to play in the NFL, B, they have a terrible offensive line, C, their offensive coordinator is not great. There's a lot of reasons, and I'm not absolving him or saying he's not to blame or he doesn't have to play better. But I saw some moments there. This is not a season long where he couldn't get anything going.
Thoughts, man?
Yeah, I agree with him. You can't really hold this guy or any of these newer quarterbacks to the same standard as we hold like those tier 1 quarterbacks, right? That's the difference. But at the same time, he is being drafted to a team and the unknowns are there. And so yeah, I agree with those guys. I mean, not the first time we've seen a quarterback that's number 1 pick and close to bust, right? Or knocking on bust door, I should say that.
Facts.
But yeah, like you have to win every Sunday. You have to at least make an effort to win, right? Some would say getting sacked 9 times could have threw the ball away. Like you know you got that. You could have did anything other than just take the sack. And so is that a sign of him just submitting? Is that a sign of him just like, not really caring? I don't know, man. Like I saw it coming. It's kind of like karma, right? Like you move Justin Fields out and then you draft a whole nother quarterback. You get what you deserve. Because that pick could have went somewhere else.
Right. Or you trade the pick and load up because everybody was so hype on Caleb Williams. Oh, he's the next best thing, blah, blah, blah. You could have gotten a load for that pick. But, I think the Bears, like I said, they were paralyzed by fear of missing out and not getting that quote unquote generational player. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's I would have traded the pick. If it was me, I would have traded the pick and just loaded up and made that team better. And I would have fired Eberflus after last season and brought in a new coach.
Yeah, I think on I hate the kind of quote Mike Tomlin right now, but he said, it's about coaching, right? At the end of the day, it's about coaching. If the player's not playing the way they're supposed to, it's on the coaches. It's the coaches' job to make sure that these players are ready to go every Sunday and they have a plan in front of them with a contingency plan in the event that something goes wrong. It's up to the coaches, like point blank period. Now, the players still have to execute, but this is a number one. This is a number 1 pick. This is your, this is who you building your franchise around. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's trouble in paradise again. It's another year. The Bears on their best bullshit again. Doesn't surprise me.
Facts. Hey, Transformer, you make good points in what you're saying. However, it just occurred to me, you as a Packer fan have the ability to say that because you had Favre, you could afford to let Aaron Rodgers sit for 3 years. You had Aaron Rodgers, and then you could afford to let Jordan Love sit for 3 years. So most teams don't have that. Like I totally get what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but you're a bit biased, not biased, but you have a little bit of skewed viewpoint on this based on who your team is and the incredible level of success they have had over the last 3 decades in developing QBs. So like there's that. Like, we got to remember that part. But no, I do agree that that MVPs bench and given time to learn and grow. And I get it. I'm not mad at that. The problem is, to your point, most people are impatient. And secondly, this probably wouldn't be as big a deal if what's my man's name? If Caleb wasn't so highly touted as being this generational guy. If he was just a really good quarterback coming out, okay, cool. Maybe you pull that off. But for him to have supposedly been what they said, they needed to get him out there. And a lot of people don't agree with letting quarterbacks sit. I do, but a lot of people don't. And G makes a great point there as well. Neither Lamar nor Mahomes nor was Josh Allen number 1 overall pick? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But the point is, neither Lamar nor Mahomes were number one overall picks. And think about it. If you're Baltimore, you could have afforded to let Lamar sit. Why? Because you had a Super Bowl champion in front of him, right? If you're Patrick Mahomes, you could have. If you're Kansas City, you could have afforded to let Patrick Mahomes sit. Why? Because you had a multi-time Pro Bowler in front of him. So I get it. Okay, there you go. I didn't think Josh Allen was number one. So, there's a little bit of different expectations when you're talking a number one overall pick, and again, a guy that's supposed to be generational. But those are my thoughts on it. G, you have anything else, man?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and we'll open up the phone lines one more time, see if we get any Caleb calls, and then we'll shut it down for the night. 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. It's in the chat and it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Go ahead, give us a call and give us your thoughts on this whole Caleb Williams and the Bears drama. Yeah, we'd love to hear what you got to say about that. Quick side note, G, I just saw something else came across my timeline here. It's an article says Lakers take puzzling G-League approach with Bronny James. We're not going to go back to that topic.
I was reading something about them benching. What's the name last night? And like the fourth quarter, and there's like talks of them trading him, D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, listen, nothing would surprise me with the Lakers at this point, man. Nothing would.
I got to check on the source. I ain't too sure about the source. Could be clickbait.
Could be. But like I said, with the Lakers at this point, nothing would surprise me, man. Oh, Wemby had 50 tonight? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, okay. Listen, Wemby got skills, man, but he need to chill with all these threes. He really does. That's so annoying. Okay, Grizz and the Lakers playing right now. All right. Okay, Celtics won. Needed that. Good.
Look like that's it, bro.
He put 50 on the Spurs. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think we're going to get any calls on this topic. So we'll go ahead and we will stop it right here. For all of you who joined us tonight, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining. For all of you who clicked that like button, I appreciate it. We got more likes than people in the chat right now. So that's how we like to see it, man. I appreciate that as well. We will be, what's tonight? Wednesday night. We'll be back Saturday night. Yeah. Yeah, Saturday night. I should be dropping a college football show in the next day or two, so look out for that. If you're a college football fan, gotta get with my guy Ryan, and we'll go ahead and get that taken care of and and get that out for you. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you're back with us on Saturday night at 7, and also make sure you continue to share the show. We really appreciate that as well. So we are gonna leave it right here, and we out. Peace.